SpaceBro Show. That's right, baby. We're back. We're back from CitizenCon, TwitchCon, all our goodness, and we're ready to do this, your favorite broadcast every Friday night at 10-ish p.m. CDT, where we're talking about our favorite program. That's right, Star Citizen. Continued development of the most awesome space game ever imagined by any individual in the entire universe. And because we didn't have a lot of time to set everything up, we're going to go right into it, guys. So here's all the guys from the Space Bros.
No, I haven't seen.
Yeah, you haven't seen. You haven't seen shit. You haven't seen shit. What's up, guys?
Hey!
Oh, whoa.
Hey, whoa. That's like ripping the curtain back all of a sudden, right? Yeah.
It's like ripping off a Band-Aid.
There you go.
There you go. Terrible.
Yeah, we had a little technical difficulties on my part. I had some webcam issues, so we got slightly delayed. And obviously,
what's this Wii stuff?
And obviously, you've seen Toy Grevin's grown a beard. He's got his bullshit hat on, and he's drinking some water up there in the corner. But no, no. Toy had to go out of town, unfortunately, this week. But he'll be back with us next week for the Space Bro Show. But Geo is here. We love Geo. He's here hanging out with us and doing the Space Bro thing. So tell us what you've been up to, Geo. What's going on, man? And how you living?
Yeah, I've been MIA, man. I've been playing a lot of PUBG, though, of course. Rocket League. Watching the CitizenCon presentation about 6 or 7 times. Getting ready for some 3.0 action.
I know you're just watching to see me in the audience, too. That's the whole reason everybody watches it.
They make fun of Mitten and Space Bros for not grabbing no SSDs. You guys are losers.
I know. Everybody's like, you should have just jumped
Where's
them.
the golden tickets? You guys are fails. What up, man?
I don't know. Whole row in front of us got them. Not us,
enough
though.
candy bars.
I guess not. I bragged
Willy
the wrong
Wonka for
person.
you.
Yep. Absolutely. All right. And, of course, the doc is back. Mr. Drones. How you been, brother? What's been going on, you know?
I've been honestly sick as hell, dude. Since I came back from TwitchCon.
Con flu?
Like the first, yeah, I got the nerd fluenza. You know,
man.
it just, dude, it happens. You know, had to get a shot and everything. It was pretty brutal. But you know, it is what it is. But after that, I've been recovering pretty well. I'm all right. I'm good.
Good. Yeah, it was a blast hanging out with you at TwitchCon and doing all those things.
Hell
We
yeah.
had a hell of a good time. Met some really interesting people and had a very fun time. It was exhausting, but it was a blast.
Don't rub it in with me and Nerd now. You're going to make us feel bad, man.
No, it's like Nerd's been putting in work, though, man. He's been holding the house down while we're gone and doing some really cool stuff. So, Uber Nerd, how have you been, brother? It's good to see you. I was able to tune into Uber Nerd by my phone all the time while I was gone because he was streaming his ass off, having a good time. So.
Yeah, it's bad. Yeah, I was doing during the week of CitizenCon. I did, my streams were much longer than they normally are. I was going sometimes 6 and 7 hours streaming, right?
Yeah.
And it was pretty good. I actually got up there to some pretty decent numbers, always over 100 during the, well, now it's almost always over 100 by the end of my stream.
Yeah.
So
just
that's
growing.
nice. All of you guys out there, and you guys know who you are coming in and having fun and conversating. And even helping out with mitigating trollish people, we can recognize almost right away when the trolls come on into the whole what do you call it, the whole situation as it were. Yeah. So it's nice to have all of the people along there.
Absolutely, and that's a great thing about not just the Space Bros community and all our individual channel communities, but just Star Citizen in general. The Star Citizen community is very supportive of each other, and we have to be careful because sometimes we get people with innocent questions. We have to reel the guys in, like, whoa, he's not a troll, he just asked a question, so you got to kind of mitigate that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but otherwise, they're super protective. We're all family, and that's amazing, so they really try to protect each other and the content creators, too.
Before we go on, I just wanted to quickly mention that you guys can use the code, what is it, New Beginnings, right?
New Beginnings,
If you're new and you haven't bought this game yet, and tell all your friends who haven't bought it, you can use New Beginnings when you buy the Aurora MR. It's only for the Aurora MR, but if you buy the Aurora MR game package and use the code, all one word, New Beginnings, in the coupon code section, it's $5 off. So get your friends. If your friends haven't bought a game package yet, $40 is you can get an Aurora MR game package, So
Yep. It's really good.
Don't forget
Did
about
they
that.
extend that to the $60 one for the Aurora 2 or only the 40?
I don't know.
We need to find that out.
Always ask in Spectrum to find that out. I haven't actually.
And when in doubt, sending in a ticket to the help center is always answered very well. Whether you're a concierge or you're just a regular old schmo backer like I used to be, they're awesome. The support team is awesome about responding to stuff. Even though I'm waiting on my Pioneer question right now, CIG.
Yeah,
just saying. But other than that, they've been really good all the time. So, definitely a good opportunity to new people. And again, guys, if you have a buddy or a friend or anybody else that hasn't gotten into the game yet. Good opportunity for them to save $5. Tell them to use your own referral code too, and why not get a little swag on your end for helping expand the game community? Perfect timing.
I only got about 1,800 more before I get the javelin, so
Hey, you're almost there.
Yeah, right.
Almost there.
Yeah.
Man, you got more referrals than I do. If you only need 1,800.
Yeah, I gotta go back and look. What is it?
More.
Is it 2,042? Isn't it for the javelin? Last time I checked,
I only got 72 referrals.
Something like that.
What do I 72?
I only got 72.
Damn, man.
What can I say? I appeal to veterans, not new folks. They get scared. They come in there and they see the whole summoning Christ drop. They're like, "Fuck this! Change this shit right now." No.
Let me get away from these codes.
These guys are a little too heavy duty to me. But it happens. It happens.
But you win some of them back when you tell them about the secret underwear.
I'm telling you, that works every time. But by then they're already subbed in, so that's just the way it goes. But no, so we all had some great times, regardless of where we were in the world, watching CitizenCon. Over in Germany, it was amazing. I actually I really did come back and enjoy some of the videos though from watching it, because seeing from a perspective of them. Plus, I missed a couple of the panels. I missed the Xi'an panel there because I was so enamored and wanting to get out to the floor and talk to the devs and all that stuff. One thing I can say is if you ever have an opportunity to go, as long as they're doing this new format for CitizenCon, it is amazing. You do not have enough time to do everything you want to do, and they made it that way. And
last year there wasn't enough to do.
That's right.
That's a big upgrade.
Well, when I talked to Cameron out there, because I made it a point to talk to every single main person, especially the guys that are working hard behind the scenes to make these type of events happen. I talked to him, and he said his main goal, after he apologized for me not getting a head scan, he said his main goal was to make sure that people came into the convention and they couldn't figure out what to do. They were pulled in so many directions, so much stuff to do, that it was just kind of going. And I felt,
is that what happened with the first panel? Because I was like, okay, the room was full, and then all you guys just flooded, and that was one of the most interesting panels. Was the first one? I'm like, why is the theater dead?
Well, it's because you had the option to do that, or go up and play 3.0, or get on the face rig, or check out. And then for every panel in there, those devs went out to the floor after that, and they had 3 or 4 computers set up, and they would show you the tools. Can you imagine being able to sit next to the dev and look at like Planet Ed? And to just sit there and talk it, that was amazing. That was the cool shit.
Yeah, and I would have skipped that too. Then.
And that's why I skipped the Xi'an one, because I knew I could watch it afterwards. Not that I don't, appreciate the Xi'an, but I knew the video would probably give me as much as whatever. And that's also honestly why I didn't play 3.0 there. People still are like blown away that I didn't play. But to be honest, if you look at the final keynote when Chris asked everybody to raise their hands who played 3.0, you'll see over a third of the entire room did not. And it wasn't because we didn't want to play it. It's because we were talking to devs. We were engaged with so many cool people in the community that took precedence to us. I mean, we've seen 3.0. I mean, 15 minutes of waiting in the line to go fly the Dragonfly and the Saber Raven for a little bit, or talk to Chris Roberts or Aaron. I mean, and they were there.
That's like a once in a lifetime.
They were there the whole time. They weren't like, I'm here for 5 minutes and then ushered off. They stayed there and talked almost the entire time to almost every person. They were there after I left. They were still there talking to people and hanging out and doing stuff. That was amazing. The dev team, big props. Did they sign
autographs?
Absolutely.
Chris and them this year?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Chris and Sandy, I remember them sitting through, Ben, all of them sitting through that whole line, signing everything. I'm like, this is true.
I know, and people were bringing up 2 and 3 shirts and all that stuff. I don't have it here with me because I don't have my wallet in here, but I got my concierge card signed by Chris Roberts. So it is, it's a super pass.
That's special.
Now it's a real multi-pass. I was like, that was perfect. I was like,
I didn't think of
everybody's
that.
like, T-shirt, sign my program. I'm like, F that. I told Chris Roberts, I'm going to have you sign the one thing that everybody's going to hate me for, the concierge card. And he just laughed. He's like, yes, there's some people mad about that with the 100 that came out and all that stuff. But
why are the people mad about that again?
because there's only 100 re-released.
Okay, yeah. So they
wanted one.
They didn't learn from their first mistake. They sold 100 quick.
Yeah.
They sold out just like that, and they did the same thing again. So they're not adding up the concierge black card people enough, and they're underestimating how much shit we buy. Hell, I bought 2 of them. So
let's be fair. There's probably, I have no idea how many people there are in concierge level, but I guarantee there's thousands. Thousands. You know.
Well,
and
the pre-sale was for the concierge on the Pioneer. Those 2,000 sold within 24 hours. So that gives you a good number of how many there are. So you know they'll pay $20 for a fucking little metal card if they're paying $7.50 for a fucking ship.
And I would say, I don't want to sound like negative or salty or anything like that, but I do believe that as a Star Citizen, if you spend $1,000 on the game, they should send everybody a little metal fucking card that says you're concierge. I think you should just get. I don't think that's too much to ask to get the $2 metal card that it costs to maybe make.
Well,
too much to ask.
That's going to be a big argument on the forums. Oh, so we're paying for the rich asshole to get free cards, and it comes out of development money.
Well, it's not free if you think about it. It budgeted.
They paid $1,000. Make it okay. Make concierge $1,025 and call it good. You know what I mean? Whatever you want to do.
Well, we use logic on forums and Reddit and shit like that. That all that shit's out the window. It's a salt factory.
Fail.
Who uses logic anymore? Come on. It's
overrated.
Who produces the most salt.
Well, and I'll be honest with you guys.
That's
I mean,
true.
you know how much extra access I got at CitizenCon for having a black card?
None.
You know how many pop-up events I'll ever be to with the black card? Probably none, because they don't come to Kansas City. You know,
just last minute they fucking did it. It was like, oh yeah, next week we're gonna do this. I'm like, well, yeah, fuck, I couldn't get a plane to go out there and hang out. It was pretty useless.
Yeah, it was. I think the whole there's Eden. What's up, Eden? I see Eden walking, all that stuff. I miss Eden Star. We're gonna be playing some PUBG real soon, girl. But no, it was just, it's one of those things where that's the one piece of memorabilia I really enjoy having. Not because it's like, ooh, look, I spent $1,000. It's because something that I won't wear and it'll fray. Something that you know what I mean? It's something that's durable and is representative of the game. And I know I helped contribute to the building of this game because of it. And that's what I like. If they had a freaking plaque I could buy and like hang on the wall that was exclusive, like saying you had, just like with Extra Life, you know, you get different medals for doing charity stuff and all that. I am fine with paying for it myself. I just want to represent and say, hey, I backed this level. I did this to help make this game a reality.
Would be something. When you say extra, like, what are the medals like? Oh, that? What's that? Oh, that kind of stuff.
That's my phone case. The shirt that you can't buy, you can only get through getting donations to Extra Life. Like there are pens and stuff too, but
like pieces of flair and things like that.
The freaking carved case.
Have you seen the velvet, like a frame that you can put on the wall, and therefore like collector coins, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would be
like
into that.
To have a yearly collector coin that people can buy and put a coin in the velvet.
I would be so in that.
Velvet.
You know what would be sweet, and I bet
they would sell
like this. That's a coin, Super Mario coin.
Yep.
I might try to find mine for the next show.
You know what? That's what we need. We need a Star Citizen challenge coin.
Well, they do launch coins for NASA for every shuttle launch and every rocket launch.
Yeah,
there's a silver 99.9% that you could do the same thing with Star Citizen. Like for really big ships.
I would like a Star Citizen challenge coin though. That way you could put yours out and somebody would show theirs, and then you could like swap coins and do all this. That would be amazing. Like that would be cool. Yeah. I would be all into that.
This is 5 troy ounces. So
foiable. They may have gave you the dog tag. They may have gave you your dog tags to me because I got an extra dog tag. I was like, I didn't order these. There were somebody's. I had some extra dog tags.
What, these?
So a lot of people, those got shit. There was a lot of shipping malfunctions with that. That's why they probably gave them a refund.
Well, the cool thing about the dog tags is the dog tags were the only thing they actually put your name on.
Yeah.
And your user number.
Nice.
So you actually you can't really focus because my.
But even those, they fucked up on selling those. Those sold out like that.
Yep.
So that's why people are getting annoyed. Like you did it with the black card, you did it with the dog tags.
There you go.
When are you guys gonna learn? We buy digital spaceships that cost $100. You know damn well to buy the physical stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, I got my dog tags too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so I got the black card, I got the dog tags. And,
I just want to make something accessible to everybody because I think it'd be so cool. Wouldn't it be cool if you had like a coin or something like that? Or if they're really cheap and you could like give a coin or a paper card, like a business card they had, and that was like an invite code to get somebody else in the Star Citizen. I would be into like that too.
A cool Squadron 42 badge or something. You know, people can wear it. It helps promote your game.
And I'd pay for them. They don't have to pay
for
them.
I would buy a 1 ounce coin, commemorative coin per year. 1 ounce coin, silver coin per year, Star Citizen. You know?
I would too.
I would totally do that.
Absolutely.
That has like, you know, each year has a different ship. You know, like a Hornet on this year and a Saber on this year. You know
when was the last time they sold these?
Oh, now you're getting all fancy on everybody.
The badges, I mean, I love these. I mean, I haven't even put on anything.
Those are
yet.
awesome.
I won't say where I got my Big Benny's. I won't say where I got my Big Benny's patch from. Thank you, Jaylee.
I won't say where I got mine either.
Thank you, Jaylee.
Is this my concierge card? I found
Thanks, Jaylee. We love you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got mine too. Concierge card. Oh, I got my Big Benny's too.
I feel dirty.
All right. We're showing all the swag now.
But who has a DS-12 gravity grenade patch?
Well, I don't because you didn't give me one.
This is the kind of stuff that they need to do more. And this is what we're talking about. That's awesome. We're talking about this so that our viewers here will understand that, and if there's any CIG who are passively watching, just understand that there are a lot more people out there who want to be able to get this kind of stuff. The fact that you make this or this, you know, be just a, you know, like limited, that's just seems kind of, I don't know. Why would you do that? There are so many ways.
I mean, it could be out of stock. It could be back ordered. I mean, that's the one thing. You never notice they have a they don't have a back order system.
I love those patches.
I don't know why. That's one thing. Ones. You know, nobody's ever called merchandising on that either. Why don't they have a back order system? Like, you know, it's back ordered. You know, we'll take up to like 2,000 orders. Then they could gauge how much more they sell because they say, oh, it's so hard to gauge what the demand is. We'll take our money in advance.
Yeah, I wanted the, what do you call it? The oh shoot! Now my brain is. I wanted the company ones. So I wanted the Misk and the Drake and the, you know, Origin and the Anvil. Those ones
those are
sold
sweet.
out. Yeah, those ones sold out before I got a chance to go get them. Those ones I want.
Here you go. You can have it.
The military ones.
Yeah, where's the Aegis? Oh, the Aegis. Oh, I'll get a fucking tattoo of Aegis. I love it.
Yeah, Misk.
Crazy.
I got a Misk hat.
Show and tell, suckers.
All right. Yeah. Well, let's go through this. There's more content in CitizenCon than we'll have time to even talk about in a single episode. I know that's for sure.
And Polaris' shirts are back on sale real quick in case a lot of people always want those before they sell out. I picked up 2 this time.
Make sure they got your size.
Yes.
They sell out quick.
Last time, the 3Xs, there was like 40 left, so they may be damn near at 0 if you guys haven't got them.
I bought 2 last time, so I'm not buying more yet. So I already have 2. I'm good. I wouldn't mind some of the plain Star Citizen ones, though. I like those with just the logo and all that, like what Drones has on.
That's what I'm rocking.
Yeah. I got only one of those, but I would buy more. But anyway, so highlights from the CitizenCon. There is so much to talk about.
Oh my God.
The intro alone, we won't show it because we know everybody's seen it a billion times, but the intro alone was amazing, and I got a cool story after we hear everybody's impressions from that. So what do you guys think of the intro? Just the impression of the intro. We'll start with Uber Nerd. Did you like it? Did you dislike it? What impression after we've watched it 5 billion times now do you have from that?
The intro for me was absolutely phenomenal. I love that muffled sound, that light, that shaking, the just really like you can't totally No more loud explosions, right? The explosions are happening, but it's all muffled. Just like space is supposed to be, you know?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be muffled, and because sound doesn't travel in space, so the explosions are happening somewhere else on the ship, and you're only hearing this boom, 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 and things are shaking, and all of a sudden, you know, the guy is thrown over, and the box falls over, and it's so, like, Chris loved to use that word this time. He must have been using a thesaurus, but visceral.
Yeah.
It's so visceral.
And I'll tell you, sitting there listening to that in the theater with the surround sound was amazing because it got that resonance, but it sounded like something banging on the outside of the ship. You know what I mean? So you had that sound, and you can't really capture that across video. But being there with their surround sound, the way they did it, it was really cool. Drones,
did you think Chris was going to come out the box?
No.
You didn't see that picture? They had a picture coming out the box. I was like, that'd have been so fucking awesome.
A Chris in the box.
I still say they squeezed Jay Lee in the box, and that's who handed him the SSD. Nice. It was Jay Lee in the box. No, Drones. What do you think of the intro and all that? What was the parts and impressions it left you with?
I really, really loved the whole intro. I thought it was absolutely amazing. Just like Ubernerd said, with the audio, it was on point with the audio, which really, honestly, shocked the hell out of me. I was like, "What? They got that right? That's pretty cool." And then the box landing on the ground, but I don't know. I got to be honest. I felt a little disappointed when it was just like this little black box in the box. I wanted something cool and not an SSD. You know, like I love what they're doing with the SSD thing, but like as part of the intro, I wanted something like really awesome to be in that box. And I don't know. That part let me down, but the audio was on point. I was very impressed.
Like a dagger. Like a
dagger that would be in-game dagger. Yeah. Oh. Or how about the model of the Raven with the SSD? That would have been epic.
You got to remember they have a huge scaled model out in the lobby there of the Saber Raven.
Not the point.
Yeah. Saber Raven's like shooting out of the box all directions and stuff. It's like
Or how about like, you know, a Raven drone fly out of the box? That would be badass.
That could happen. Gio, how about you? What was your impressions from the intro portion of the presentation?
Well, I think it was probably one of the coolest commercials we ever seen for a computer part, right? I mean, not the cool was in the box, of course, but SSD, but for the immersion to come on stage and kind of look cool with the intro. That was real cool and creative instead of just some stupid, hey, buy our SSD, it does blah, 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 you know. Even though they kind of did go into more details with that. But I thought it was real cool how they did that, and hopefully when we blow up ships and try to take their stuff, it actually comes down like that, and we go.
Oh my God!
On planet, I'm hoping that is what they're representing.
Pieces falling down onto the planet, and the puff of dust the puff of dust and smoke
exactly
when it hit, right?
And you could kind of see where it lands. That'd be awesome if they pull that off. And then really, what caught me off guard, I didn't notice since I was making the video, is that was a Connie that took down that caterpillar. I mean, I would have loved to see that battle a little closer before just one shot him and took him down, but I don't think that's happening in game too much. I can tell you that. Yeah. But it was sweet.
Well, he hit him with a few more than one shot. That was just the final blows because it had already been.
But you got to think about it. He was moving the cargo all nilly-willy like nothing was going on outside, so it had to happen quick.
Well, he was moving the cargo. They went off screen, and then you see the rupture. It started getting hit by missiles inside. That's why you were getting the sparks and stuff. And then by the time he falls backwards, then the hull breach happens. So that means it's already damaged to the state where you're starting to get a hull breach. And then it was the kill shot with the last two missiles that came up from the Connie there, and it was pretty amazing. But
I thought it was cool when you could see the dude flying out of.
Yes.
And he was like grabbing
his you could see him asphyxiate. Like once he got sucked out, it was like he was done, you know. And I was like, that was so crazy to have that in the background of the shot there. It was really cool. And the thing, a lot of people don't know, there's a backstory on the box. And I talked to, I can't remember, and I apologize if you're watching the show. One of the volunteers there that worked with CIG to get that whole box coming out thing. They had to build that box, and they had to customize, and they had to redo it a couple times because they had to make it to where the dried ice in it would actually produce the smoke at the right level. Right, because if they put it in too early, it wouldn't smoke like that on the stage. Right. and they had to put it to where Chris wouldn't burn himself, right, to get the SSD out.
Yeah.
They had to put, so there was a whole thing about that. They had to rehearse that to time it right when it came down. A guy all in black would run out and jump out and put it there on the thing, and then run off stage so we couldn't see him. So it was a whole choreographed thing, and people don't realize that.
Me and my son went to the Science and Industry Museum. Yeah, that is the same thing. It's like they had to have gloves and put a whole bunch of science shit, but they put in there, it was real frozen to have that effect to come out like that. Yeah. That is what that was.
That's exactly what it was. It was actually a sculpted cooler with a container in the bottom for the water and the dried ice. They had to literally have a guy backstage holding the dry ice with gloves, have the cooler ready, have another guy with the basket for the SSD that goes on top of that, so that way it would sit above it, and then they had to port it for the smoke to come out the side. So they had all these people holding everything ready for the right moment, drop the dried ice in there, put the basket SSD, seal the lid, have the guy run out in all in black, drop it off there, and then do all that just in the right moment. So
you can do that with liquid nitrogen too.
You could, but I don't think they wanted to trust volunteers with liquid nitrogen around Chris Roberts. I think that would have been a little bit like,
that's what they do at the Science Industry Museum.
Yeah, so, but it was crazy that they actually went to that level, and I found this out when I was over at the Apple Wine Bar, which is properly named like Adolf something or other, which I thought was really.
Jesus.
Yeah, well, that was the thing with the bar. I can't remember now. The second bar was Adolf something. I was like, German bars named Adolf. I bet there's not a lot of these. But either way, we went there and we had apple wine and stuff, and that's where Chambers was. Ulf was there. A lot of people were. And from there, we went to the yacht club, and that's where I got to sit down with Brian for like hours with me, Mocker, a bunch of other guys from the community and stuff. And we drank for like 3 or 4 hours talking to Brian Chambers.
How many beers did Brian chug down? Because I know it's last year.
As many as he would allow us to buy him. Wow. So he was like, I'll just have 1 and 2 and
shit.
It was there's at least 5 to 6 beers bought there from him, and I don't know. As much as I'm not a huge beer guy. I tried some of the local different beers while I was in Germany. It was good. And then I drank rum and cokes, and I found that most people in Germany don't do rum and cokes. They do whiskey colas. So I had to order double rums and a coke. So I ordered double rums, and I just mixed my own while I was there. So it was good. It was good. But yeah, they had no idea. They're like, whiskey cola? I'm like, sure, why not? Because rum and coke was just like, huh? So must be a thing. Anyway, so the whole presentation like that was really cool. It was cool to find out that backstory on like the challenges with the box. And, to be honest, to kind of fast forward to this week's ATV, and we're not going to really go in depth on the ATV.
What ATV? It was CitizenCon.
Well, there's that, and I was hoping to hear more about stuff like that story I heard about with the box in the intro. That type of behind-the-scenes stuff would have been so cool for a behind-the-scenes. It was
just cut down.
It should have been called AT. It should have been called CitizenCon Summary. That's what it should have been, because that's really what it was. It's not bad. It's not bad, but that's what it was.
So. Usually every year that's what they do. I was expecting a behind the scenes this week. I'm like, okay, nothing too crazy. Behind the scenes, but it wasn't even that. It was just
that's what they said it was going to be, right?
In front of the scenes, not behind the scenes.
Yeah, it was just a CitizenCon summary, real quick,
so it was
and
a little disappointing.
Yeah. It was fine. It was just mislabeled.
Behind the kind of this is how we did this, and this is how we did. But
Yeah.
I wonder if Intel has something to do with that. Like, all right, we're paying for this. We don't want no behind the scenes shit.
No, I don't think so at all. I think it's because here's the thing: from being there at the event. They had cameras with Ulf interviewing everybody and doing all that. Then they had something set up where Disco was, right, because he was kind of emceeing the event from back there and then doing the in-between. So they cut between Ulf and him. They had a full broadcast team they had brought in that was inside in between. So they pro'd this all the way out. And I just feel like they had so many moving bits. They didn't think to have like a guy just doing behind-the-scenes footage, not backstage stuff. Not all that. They just didn't do that.
The Ulf interviews were probably the most cringiest I've ever seen at any CitizenCon. It was bad.
I'll say this: Ulf is a very nice guy. I think Ulf is an amazing guy. I sat and talked to him for several hours.
The people he decided to pick.
Yeah, well, he seized opportunities, and I think a lot of people still don't know who he is in the community necessarily. And I will say that I did an interview with him at the Apple Wine Bar. And so did Toy. Me and Toy did. And there was probably about 36 other interviews I've seen him do that we haven't seen yet. I don't know if they'll bring him up later or not. They might have just cutting room floor. It might have been like, oh shit, Mitauchi's in that. Scratch that shit out. But there was a lot of actually decent interviews. And I saw several interviews of him talking with Brian at several different locations, all sorts. There's a lot more video footage.
Brian, yeah.
But I know there's some off-site that were outside CitizenCon, like at some of these other Bar Citizens that he did as well. So I don't know if we'll see that video or not. So we'll see.
I don't know. I know he talked to... He was live streaming when one shill was just playing. He was like, if there's one thing you could change, he's like, nothing. Starts saying it's just perfect. I'm like, that is a Kool-Aid drinker.
Well,
we're all not like him.
They even came up and asked me questions while I was on the face rig. And I was on the face rig. I was like, well, I really want to test this in depth. I said, I don't know if this is something I'd use because the glasses, right? And it was working perfectly. It worked perfectly there with my glasses. But they said it works okay with rimless glasses. If you have rims or you have a dark beard, it's like if Disco's on it, it just looks like the guy's mouth's open the entire time because his beard's dark.
So something I won't be using, basically.
Well, not with a full beard because the camera can't distinguish between where your mouth stops and where your beard begins. It becomes a problem. It's
still funny to me that this is. Don't get me wrong. I'm wholeheartedly going to get into the FOIP stuff, but it's one of the few times where you're buying a piece of hardware to improve everybody else's experience.
Kinda. I don't know. There is certain elements.
You're not really buying it to improve your experience.
You don't need to buy anything.
Seriously, think about that.
What do you need to buy?
No, if you get the actual the branded camera,
you don't need it.
You can use a regular webcam.
Every camera there. Guess what cameras they're using?
Brios.
Logitech C920s.
C920s.
Really?
C920s. Every one of them were C920s or 22s, and they were working perfectly. There was no branded RSI camera on any of the rigs there at all. So you don't need that for it to work. It worked perfectly. I could actually do the puff cheeks. It worked. If I raise, this is the part that tripped me the fuck out. I'd look at it and I could raise an eyebrow and it would do that.
Elbow?
It would just do, it would just do eyebrows, one or the other. You could wink at it. You could do. I was like, those things. I was like, whoa, that was cool. Forget just the mouth shit. I could blink. I could wink. Wink at stuff.
I still hope that they. I hope they give you like an image of your character's face somewhere that you can see.
You can.
Because how awesome would that be? Especially, okay, so like in the actual game as you're playing, because I'd like to be able to show the stream what my character looks like.
If you rotate, just like with your director's mode, your camera, you can just flip it around.
Right. So drones, I think what this is going to this is going to feed into what they're hoping to bring to Star Citizen, which is the ability to broadcast from within the game as your character out to Twitch. So they want you to be able to use the face over IP to be able to have your character be doing something, newscasting or whatever, right? Reporting from the scene. Dr. Drones, back to you.
Why do you think I got the Mako?
Right.
That is exactly my hopes.
Well, this is the thing. They were thinking about this a long time ago because they were talking about this stuff in Wingman's Hangar back in the day. So this just wasn't no feature creep they just thought of. They were talking about this like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And
now, they wanted to do this the whole time.
They got Twitch now integrated and stuff with the Lumberyard, and now it's probably a good time to implement it in game.
Well, the other thing I will say is thinking the machinimas though come off that. Because people just, I mean, you don't have to go complicated. You don't have to be an animator. You could literally get around with like 4 or 5 friends and just do it. And here's something else that really tripped me out about that thing that they didn't really highlight. When you put your helmet on, right? If I put my helmet on, it goes to radio.
That's dope.
I could hear you like through the helmet, like the radio thing. It goes from like me talking to you, like, okay, here we go. And it changes like the whole comms thing. And I'm like, what? It's so cool.
Do that in SWAT and ARMA. I love that.
And it's really cool. And
that kind of makes me think that somebody could probably make a lot of money, or just make a 3D printed helmet that actually has a headphone built into it, so you can actually put that stuff on, and then oh god, that would be cool.
Well, there were guys there if you looked at watch the playback, we were 2 or 3 guys, and I didn't get good pictures of them unfortunately because they took some of their gear off because it's so hot. They have full armor sets. They wore their cosplay. There's 3 of them. They had full lights, LEDs with the helmets and the whole deal they wore.
That was awesome.
They
definitely had them in the stream.
Yeah, they did a lot of cool stuff. So there's all that stuff going on. There's a lot of that. Plus, the last thing that I didn't know the FOIP did is when you go to head unlock, to like free look, your head moves with the camera all over the place. So it's not just like that. So you can actually, your character's head will move in the game with that. So it's not only locked to your mouth. I was like, what the hell? I was like, it's really cool for you not having any of the other head tracking software and stuff, and it's just based on your webcam. That was really cool. And
there goes your answer. Freeman just said the developer of the radio mod for Arma now works for CIG, so that's why you probably got that radio thing.
There you go.
Nice.
Just like when they hired that guy with the procedural city tech. Boom, what did we see this year?
And you know how hard it was to calibrate this for me to sit down between users? You just hit one F key.
Yeah.
I just sit down and go,
that I am very
calibrated.
excited about. We saw the tech that they're doing here. This CitizenCon, I think, is going to attract a lot of some of the top end developers. And where CIG is lacking, like it's been hard, like they were able to attract really good talent, but now they're going to be beating them away with a stick. You know what I'm saying? It's because when the really talented engineers, network engineers, coders, graphics artists, they want to work on the next best thing. They want their name associated with the next best thing. And I think there's no way for anybody to deny, at least anybody who is, has any kind of legitimate voice at all, developers, right? So there's no way for any developer to say, oh, no, that's a flash in the pan. No, the developers are like looking at that going, I want to be a part of that. So you're going to see
a dude from Rockstar I seen a couple of months ago.
Send me a link on that, Bob. I want to see that.
Come to CIG. So Rockstar, I mean, that's a good company to leave to come work at CIG. So CIG is doing something right if you're leaving Rockstar.
Yeah.
I think another one from BioWare. I think he came over.
Well, they collect all the talent, and I'll tell you, this is another thing that I found out that was really gave me a great impression of Brian Chambers. From talking to him, not only did we had a great conversation about being fathers, and some of the challenges and stuff like that. So just to discover more of him as a person, because not all our talk was just about the game, but I also he totally shared his philosophy on how he recruits people into the company and how he brings people. He says he has 3 rules. And sorry, Brian, if I wasn't supposed to share this, but he has 3 rules when he hires somebody. They have to be one of the best in their discipline, period. Like he doesn't want somebody who's learning. He doesn't want somebody who wants to come and learn. They have to be one of the best in their discipline. They have to believe in the game. Come there, see the game, believe in what they're doing for the game, believe in the game itself, believe in the project. Not they're just going through the motions. They might be brilliant, but they're like, hey, I don't care if the game does this. I'm doing just my job, whatever. That's it.
I'm here to get paid. Yeah.
They have to believe in the project on that level, and get into it with them like that. And number 3, they can't be an asshole. He doesn't care how brilliant they are or how much they're into his stuff.
I'm out.
I know, exactly. He said if they don't fit the culture, if they don't fit the culture of what's going on there, and you can't get along with the other people, because a lot of companies overlook that. You go and Uber, what I'm talking about. There's some brilliant people that work for some of these major companies, and they don't care if they're a complete asshole because they're that smart. They're just they bring in the money, they do their thing. That is not how they operate over there, at least not over Frankfurt. Because Brian Chambers,
that's what happened.
He won't
before,
even
right?
talk to him.
That's where all the drama and the bullshit and the ex-employees, the liars, a lot of that came through because it wasn't a thorough research on who they were hiring and who was best for the project.
They were digging. They were more, I won't say they were desperate for talent, but they were more worried about who could bring what to the table rather than how they worked with the team and how they worked with this team. And I think that created some challenges.
It was just that either. So a lot of times you're not going to discover, like sometimes kind of get a feeling for about who is a real jerk or a
D-bag.
Yeah, but sometimes, especially when a person has left a previous company, and maybe they left it because they were a D-bag, but they signed a mutual like an NDA
Yep.
Where you're not supposed to say anything bad about that company that you're leaving, and they're not going to say anything bad about you. And
I've signed one of those before.
And I've signed one of those in the past.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's the thing is that if you do that, there's no way the company's not going to. Now the company can't badmouth you if you use them and you use them as a reference. They're like, oh yeah, they did their job. They the work that they performed.
They were here. It just didn't work out long term. But won't get
I don't know how it is in other countries, but I know here there's a very limited amount of things that a company can legally say about a previous employee. Yeah. Like, yes, they worked here. Here's their salary. They left on this date. They're not allowed legally to go into detail and say did this.
It's different for every state. Most of it is because of what you sign when you leave the company. Because if you don't sign anything when you leave the company, they can say all kinds of, if it's true, they can say it. Right. But
I'm pretty sure there's legal ramifications to that.
It depends on what they sign.
I know here it's illegal.
California. Are you in California?
No, I'm in Florida.
Well, I know
we're a right to work state, but you can't talk shit about your employees.
Right. So my state, that's not the same. If you don't,
Helium 3 is right. They do. They can do it secretly, but if a company gets caught doing that, at least here, like I said, state to state may be different, but
it is
here I know for a fact you can definitely get a company prosecuted.
If you are terminated, though, they can, and depending on what paperwork you sign, share why you were terminated. They can't go into detail. But they can give.
They can't
they can't badmouth you. They can't give an opinion, but they can say why you were released from your job. If you use them as a reference,
if you were fired for negligence, they can say that unless they sign a contract that says otherwise.
That's right.
Well, let's go ask CIG toast.
So.
But either way, it's and we're not saying that like a lot of people aren't there anymore because people change. People are enamored with the company, and then you go on 2-3 years, and shit happens, and they aren't happy anymore.
There's a lot required from their employees as well. If you look at some of the hours that they keep, and it's a high energy office, CIG offices, and some of the people have left because they wanted to spend more time with their families.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And
that's what happened to the producer. That's why Eric Kyron Davis took over spot. It was just a lot of work, and
it wasn't just that. Remember, it was his commute. He was commuting at least an hour and a half every day.
At least
just an hour and a half to work, an hour and so 3 hours,
which is pretty normal in LA. Let's be honest.
Right, but come on, that if you have a family, if you have just starting a family,
I 100% agree. I 100% agree. But also, from talking to Jay Lee and Drones knows what I'm talking about. Jay Lee worked every night during the week till 11 p.m. so he could have Saturday off to hang out with us. That's the type of and we're not saying that's mandatory at CIG, but that's the type of work they do. They're planning when there's a big push. They're working weekends. They're working all that stuff, and they'll work extra so maybe they can have a moment off on their weekend. So they're busting their ass. So when people say, "Oh, they're not doing enough," or "Oh, they should do more," every employee there is working their ass off way later. I mean, if you go like right now and you're sitting there and it's like 10 p.m. here, my time, or 12 p.m. or whatever, or 12 a.m., and you'll find a lot of times that people like Jay Lee over in the LA office are just getting home. They're just getting home at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. They're just now getting there.
And a lot of the dudes in the Frankfurt office as well, when they tell them you have to do this in your, that's in your spare time, you can't take a production time, like the procedural planning stuff. If that guy didn't take his spare time to fix that, they probably wouldn't have been working on it right now.
Because it wasn't a priority for the company.
I just want to throw out there that in addition to all these hours these guys are working, they're also taking time out of their day to spend with the community. Yes. We're seeing a lot of that. It's not just work. It's work.
Some are doing it because their job. Others are doing it just because that's their brand.
Right. I'm talking about the ones that are doing it because.
How many of the employees started off as community members?
That's right.
Before they got the job. A lot of them.
Yep.
You'll hear a lot of them. Oh yeah, I'm a backer. I've been a backer since the beginning, and then I was like, I saw a job opening and I got in. Right. So there are quite a few that they were community members first, and then they got the job there. They're still a part of the community because they love that. They love this community.
That's why they got involved, right?
That's right, and we love you guys. You know,
yeah,
that's that's the one thing about this community that I like more than than any other gaming community I've ever been a part of.
And that's the thing. None of these things that anybody's saying is mandatory that we're working or any of that stuff. But they believe so much in their jobs and what they're trying to do. When asked, they are more than willing to jump up and do that stuff because it needs to be done.
Most of them are volunteering for the late. Like I think some of it is crunch time. People say, "Hey, he wants to stay late and do the crunch," and everybody's like raising their hands, except for those who have like kids that they got to go take care of, right?
At least it's not like my job. We got mandatory overtime every week. They don't do CIG like that unless they have the crunch like 3.0 right now. It's probably crunch, so they probably have mandatory overtime.
Yeah,
yeah, they probably do, right?
Yep. But you probably also get a lot of companies do merit-based promotions too. So if in a corporate structure, like a lot of us know, if every other person is working that extra 10-hour day or whatever like that, and you're the one guy who's not, you're not really going to move up anywhere because that's just kind of how it works.
That's true.
So if you have half the people that are true believers and the other half people are like, I just want to go home, and it's like, oh, but what about that holiday bonus? Most people stay. I'm just telling you, that's the way it works. Whether it's not malicious, but that's just the group think of what happens at these type of.
Well, you got to understand, a lot of people, like Brian does, he hires people who are passionate and love their job. You're not going to hire someone who hates their job. If I love my job as a career, hey, I'll stay extra and come kick it or whatever.
Well, you want to accomplish the goal. I mean, it's just like what Brian told me. It's like there's a huge thing that Mocker and Biomechanical did, and they got one of the programs, and they had everybody sign it. Those at CitizenCon they possibly could. They actually drove to like 5 different bars where all the citizens were that last night to get signatures from all of us, and then presented it to Brian. And you'll see there was a tweet out Brian did where he held it up, and it's got a photo of all of us in it, and it's got all the signatures from everybody there. And it was like Brian said, this is the stuff that makes me really want to come to work every day. That's what gives them energy. Is like the fact our reactions when we're really positive when we see something they do, and it's just like, hey, he said that's what puts fuel in their tanks. You know what I mean? Right. Because that feedback back and forth between the community and the developers and stuff is what really inspires them, and that's why you get stuff like the planetary shit we have. They did that off the clock because they had other shit they had to do. It wasn't in the scope of the plan. And they're like, and the guys over in Frankfurt said, hey, we can make this work. We can do this. And he's like, that's great. You'll have to do it on your own time to make that work because it wasn't part of the scope of the project at that point. Once they had a working model and they showed it to Chris is like, fuck yeah, let's do that shit.
Yeah,
then it's a whole different thing, So, and that's how you move up in the chain of command. It's these companies. It's like if you work on your own project for your company that's going to help push the project forward and develop it more, and you go, look what we can do. And then it's like, oh, well, now senior artist in charge of planetary lake development and rivers. It's like you get new titles, promotion stuff, and all that. But that's great that they get energized by us, and it just pushes them up, It just pushes them up the best it can. All right. So now that we've talked corporate philosophy, we've talked about the intro. We talked about some of our favorite pieces there. We talked a little bit about ATV and how, while it wasn't bad, it was mislabeled, in my opinion. Totally mislabeled.
How many bugs are we at?
15.
15, that's right.
15 as of then. I haven't looked at the production schedule to see if it shifted from when they videoed it today.
Well, so I looked at the production schedule. It is no longer that little graph.
Yeah.
Oh, it isn't?
They're changing things again.
They are. Because they want to get it synced back up with the major schedule, is what that Chris and Aaron said they want to do. They're going to go back, and the major schedule that we've been waiting for forever, they're reworking the whole thing. So we're going to get a more long-term schedule come out, and supposedly by the holiday stream, we're going to have a Squadron 42 schedule as well.
That needs to come out during the holiday stream.
That's what they said their goal is. That's what they want to do. They're going to show us... And it's not going to be a per date. It's going to be like a kind of, the general like we have that push pulls, and that's fine. But we're going to get updates about where they are in the line of things on that. So that's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. 'Cause we went from last year like, oh yeah, we know we got some polish and stuff to do, to now another year. Squadron 42's not here.
Every time I will say this, and I'm not a negative Nancy when it comes to things like people talk about feature creep or adding in elements, all that stuff. I am fine with all that as long as I have a game to play while we go through. But there's a couple things I learned at CitizenCon about Squadron 42 that makes me kind of rethink the development cycle of it. First off, every piece of tech that goes into Star Citizen goes into Squadron 42. So when they come out with the whole like, oh look, we have new dense gas, and voxel this, and we have the whole image relays and then the holograms and all that stuff. All that goes into Squadron 42 as well. So when they start to perfect something, and many things
said the only thing that's not going into Squadron 42 that's going into Star Citizen is the net code.
Correct.
See, and that kind of sucks. Because I mean, you could have saved some of this stuff for Squadron 42 2 or the sequel, whatever you're going to call it.
I do agree with that.
Now.
But here's the thing: a lot of what's delayed it is AI, and a lot of what's delayed it is the animation stuff, right? Because they've had to constantly redo and tweak animations. There was a whole panel. If you guys haven't watched the panel on the animation stuff, it is a little bit dry, I'll admit that, but overall understanding what's going on with the animations and how they actually render the ground, right, with the angles and the process they had to go through to make that look right and stuff on the planetary side, that all goes into Squadron 42 as well. Because you got to remember, back when Tyler Wicklund 2 years ago said he played through all Squadron 42 and everybody's like, oh, you played through it all. They didn't have planetary missions. Now they do.
Yep.
They've added them in. There's more stuff they're adding in. You have to also understand all these things have to be perfected in Squadron 42 for it to go forward. I do believe there should be a feature lock date, I hope, and then you can push the rest of the tech and everything else into the next build of Squadron 42,
right.
the new stuff.
Now, Mitauchi, I thought that they had a planetary landing, but it was more of a corridor and only one place you could land and one area that you could land to do the mission at. It wasn't an entire planet. What the difference they changed was that now they have entire systems with entire planets fully made, and that's where it changed. Where they did have planetary missions a part of Squadron 42, they were as we had known they were going to be before.
I think also the original landing on the planet, the only one they originally had in there was also a fly up to this object and then autopilot you all the way down. Not the corridor thing, because they added in the corridor tech when they did that with the planets now.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they had that in the very, very original 2 years ago Squadron 42. I think they had something where they wanted you to go down. It was kind of like you went to a base or something like that. I haven't read all the leaked story of it, so I don't remember. But
we don't have the story.
There's a leaked story with the script out there, I believe.
Okay,
but I didn't say that because I don't want to know. I really don't. I want it to be.
I won't read it.
No.
Yeah, but it's supposedly. I mean, it's been written for like 4.5 years. So it's the story's been the story. They've just kind of enacted the scenes and all that stuff.
Shazbat.
Yeah. Take it easy, bro.
All I know is that the decisions that can be made in this game are going to be amplified by a lot.
Yep. There's going to be a lot of choose your own adventure, a lot of like this happens under this path and this happens under this path stuff in the story where you'll be forced to make certain decisions which may impact the end of the story. It's not going to be to the amount that probably the next version of Squadron 42 will be, though. Because the second chapter is going to be crazy.
From what I heard, and I can't say too much about it.
Yeah, don't go too crazy, but yeah.
Yeah, but the decisions are going to be like, you think Mass Effect did something? This is going like... So I can see a lot of this tech coming in is going to really help with those decisions and impact it heavier than any game we've probably ever seen.
And to be fair, those of you who didn't play the Wing Commander series, which I'm not Ben Lesnick. I love Ben. I'm not a super fan of Wing Commander. I did like Wing Commander 3 a lot because it had Mark Hamill in it and it had that kind of story pass. And even those had a lot. Like there was like 6 or 7 paths where you could like fuck up and fail in Wing Commander and like it have a different type of ending or something would happen or you'd get killed or you'd lose or this or you could win this way or win this way. And Chris did that in the 80s. So which
Mass Effect took from.
Yeah, right. All sci-fi games did because there was like that was where you were playing a movie almost, and they've taken that to a new level now. So we're going to get a lot of that type of stuff. So 3 was where I started at with the Wing Commanders. I did go back and look at the others, but 3 was like the one for me that was like the main one I played, and I enjoyed the most.
I started with Privateer. That was my first.
Privateer was good. It was pretty good. But I can say Wing Commander 3 was the main one I played because that was where I felt like I was playing the movie. But no, so the other element with Squadron 42 that we have to understand is until they have AI perfected, which I have not had confirmation one way or the other, but based on what we've seen in the demo, right? The only interaction with AI other than just walking through the Area 18 and them doing their own thing, or just like randomly pulling spaceships, was the security guard giving a head nod like saying you're clear, which is an automated thing. We have not seen a demonstration of them interacting with the AI on a complete level in the entire game yet, at all. We've seen Miles.
They said they have the schedule system,
but we've seen Miles, right? We've seen go down and you'd ask Miles some questions and like get a mission from him. But we haven't seen anything outside that as far as something that doesn't take like a logical cue back and forth from something, or just a acknowledgement of your existence type thing for AI in the game.
True.
I haven't.
I mean, at Gamescom, we seen the dude, work on stuff, but he didn't really talk to him. He was just interacting with stuff. But so as far as interacting with him,
So,
that card is the only one.
And considering that, to me, perfecting that, and I think they're a long way towards it. I mean, we've seen the development trees, all the different spires of that. But for what they describe they want AI to be this independent creature that will have his own routine, his own day of doing his stuff, come back, recognize you, remember who you are and your interactions, all that stuff. That's going to be in Squadron 42 too. So that I don't think they're there yet with that, and I think that's what's holding up Squadron 42 more than anything. And if we know under the development cycle of what they do with Star Citizen, basically what that means is the longer it takes for them to get that perfected, oh, look, this new tech's done, they're just going to keep shoving into the new tech. That's what they do with everything, right? While they're waiting to get netcode in and waiting to get the Delta Patcher done, look at all the things they added into Star Citizen. That's what they do. If something's ready, they patch it, they add it in. We're going to add that in too. So I was very ecstatic to hear at CitizenCon when Chris Roberts said, and hopefully they'll hold to this, quarterly releases of where we're at with the project. Not, hey, these are the things we're trying to get done, and if they're not done, we push that drop date.
Yeah,
they're not going to do that.
I lost all faith with CIG with stuff like that. I mean, we heard that.
Okay, but
last year, every other month, we're going to get updated.
It's time to hold them accountable here too, because this isn't hey, we're going to push that quarterly date. If this isn't done, it's like, if this isn't done, we wait till the next push. And we only push in quarterly what is done. So you might not have a big drop every quarter. Some things might wait till the next quarter, but at least you'll get a regular content interval. But I think that got some mixed reception, right? Because with the Delta Patcher, people are like, wow, only quarterly drops? And I'm like, the
Delta Patcher, you can add little stuff in, though, within that patch.
Yeah, they're saying quarterly content drops. That doesn't mean there won't be more frequent bug fixes.
The Delta Patcher will be almost exclusively for bug fixes, and I think people were thinking they were going to get monthly content drops, and that's not going to happen.
So they couldn't Delta patch in like a ship. You would have to wait every quarter.
I think that's what they're going to do. Is they're going to wait.
You got to remember, though, guys, is that anything that has to be bug tested is going to have to go through Evocati or the PTU at least, right?
Yeah.
So if they have a ship that has to come into the game, well, it's going to have to go through a PTU, and they don't want to do. That's why they want to do quarterly, is because they don't want to have they'd have to have a PTU running constantly, which I don't think would be a bad thing.
I think they should. Most games do.
Don't think they can. I don't think they have the staff to manage that yet.
How long has the Connie and the Cuddy and all these other ships been done, though? And we can't even get them in right now. Like, I don't see why the Delta Patcher couldn't put it in.
Well, they're being tested.
Yeah.
They're in the Evocati,
And see, that's the thing. And I know, like Frace is saying, well, that won't prevent them from putting ships in. I agree it won't prevent them, but I think they'll make the choice not to put them in except
they
quarterly.
won't put them in without fully testing them.
That's right.
Well,
because
ships are broken now, though.
If that was the case, if they were just going to drop ships in, they would have already put in the Cutlass. They would have said, we'll do this. We'll do that. They aren't going to do it. They're going to wait quarterly to do it. So, and we don't have the Delta Patcher yet. It comes with 3.0.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know we don't have it yet. I'm just saying in the future. I mean, if we had like in the situation it is now, and we had the Delta Patcher, why couldn't they just? And these shit's been done for months. I mean, Aquila and
and this is the reason why they would. This is why they would choose not to.
A lot of them been flight ready for a while. I mean, they have it on the schedule. A couple of these ships have been done,
and this is why I think they choose not to.
Ready. Yeah, I was going to say they're only flight ready on the internal servers.
Yes.
They have to remember if you've paid attention, close attention to some of they have some keywords in some of these ATVs where they'll say they're talking about these bugs and they're going, we don't understand exactly why we have this certain situation, but sometimes when we move something from the internal server where everything was working perfectly and we'll push it out to the Evocati, all of a sudden it's all broken. It's just not working.
Well, and right now in 2.63, how many bugs do you think there are?
Oh, thousands.
Thousands. Literally thousands of bugs, right? That is what they're going to have to constantly patch. They're going to constantly use the Delta Patcher. You're going to get weekly, if not multiple week updates on fixing what's currently in the build between these 3-month periods, right? Yeah. And then on the Evocati side, those are going to get those same patches, see how they do on the back end of the next build coming every quarter. They can't patch the current build and drop a ship in randomly all the time, or else it's going to fuck things up more.
I'm not, but just think of when 2.63 came out to now. I mean, it's almost been a year with no patch. Well, I know there's at least one ship that is done that could have been Delta patched in by now.
But will that fuck things up?
They couldn't though, and the reason why is because all the new ships, like for example the Cutlass, right? It's not the old model.
They're all 2.0 ships.
2.0 in there. That can't come to us. That can't come to us until 3.0.
There's not even a build to sustain
I'm talking about in the future. That's what I'm saying. I'm just giving an example. If that ever happened again, why couldn't we get a ship where we don't have to go on a long drought like that if it's going to be late?
They could, but there won't be a long drought if they drop everything they got quarterly, because every 3 months you'll get a bunch of ships or you'll get a bunch of content. You'll get all those things that are ready. And they need to test it fully, because remember when they just tried to put in the Starfarers? They just put in the Starfarers and we had all the ships all of a sudden floated off the fucking pads. How does adding a Starfarer make all the shit flow off the pads? We don't know, but it did. Like every ship we were chasing, we had Hornets flying up, we had all the shit flying all over the place, and it was just because they added Starfarers. They added Grimhex too, right? But they just added Starfarers. The Starfarers and Grimhex nowhere near fucking Port Olisar, but all our ships are floating away like hot air balloons. So this goes to show.
I just hope there's a way. I'm not holding my breath on that every 3 months. That's why I'm hoping that the Delta Patcher will allow for something to be like that, because I don't think they're going to do it every 3 months.
I think they will do every 3 months, but I think the content you'll get will be small, because I think they'll try to do all this stuff and some things won't be ready. And if they hold to their word and they say every 3 months, it'll be what's ready.
Extra locations.
Yep.
Sometimes it'll just be ships.
That's right. It'll be what's done. And if it's not done at that 3-month cutoff, according to what Chris says, if it's not done, they'll give you what's done and they'll push the things they're still working on to the next cutoff.
Let's look at what they're doing with the Evocati right now. Let's say that between the Evocati and the PTU, this whole stretch lasts for almost 2.5 months, right? That is almost that quarterly period, right?
Yep.
That is almost that quarterly period. So
it'll actually work out to be about exactly that, right?
Yeah. So maybe they're looking at this and going, well, they may actually end up having a continually running Evocati PTU.
They should.
Quarterly launch. Evocati, then the Evocati gets the next group. While the 3.0 goes out to everybody, the Evocati gets 3.1, right? Yeah. And it's testing that for 3 months. The Evocati gets 3.1, moves out to the PTU, and then it moves, and then by April, it goes out to everybody, and then Evocati and gets 3.2 or something like that, right? Because that would make sense. That they need a lot of testing to go on, and that makes sense for them to do that. And because
3 months isn't bad with new content all the time. I think the problem is the reason we're so gun shy and worried about accepting 3 months is the fact we've been starved for content, like Gio says, for so long. If I had 3.0 today, in 3 months from now, they said, okay, we're going to add in maybe 1 planet, 4 ships, and here's some more missions. Dude, that's not bad. That's really not bad as people think, because that's not long. A year and a half? Because all we really got, let's not even talk about, like, okay, 2.63 came out in, I think, March, but 2.6 was January. That was like the very beginning when we got like Star Marine, right in the Christmas time to January. And before that, what'd we get? We haven't gotten really anything before that, so it's been more than a year. All we got was Star Marine was the big change, right? And that's why people are like, oh my God, 3 months, we should get monthly. I'm like, dude, if they do 3 months, I think it'll be paced just right.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. I mean, that'd be cool for me too. I think that's a perfect timeline. I just don't believe in CIG getting it out.
And I understand your disbelief in it because they haven't delivered on it. I know.
Oh, we're gonna have a lot of content, blah blah blah, and that shit went down the drain.
I think they need to hold to what Chris said, and I hope they do. I hope that it doesn't matter how much they have done; they just drop what they got every 3 months.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to be more vocal with CIG because now I see they got their tech in place. They got the procedural planets, cities. Now at this point, it's just fixing up bugs and make sure it's run. You got all the tech you need now. Yep. So I'm going to be more critical with CIG.
And it's just like Arctic Games says in chat. He says most MMOs on free-to-play platform do a 3-month content drop, and that's correct. Most games. Now I will go even beyond free-to-play. If you think about DLC cycles and even simple shit like Call of Duties. Usually every 3 months, right? That is a cycle. That's when it's there. And that's their pre-made bullshit they already had done before the game launch. They're just going to feed you every 3 months. If they just say, hey, this is what we got done, sometimes it'll be hot. Sometimes it'll be like, okay, 3 months, all we gave you was a new ship and maybe some weapons. But at that 6 month, because all the shit we push back's done and the other shit that we planned on having done's done, you're going to get a major drop. You just don't know what it's going to be. But that's the roadmap, and I hope they hold to that, because the problem is when they keep adding stuff and pushing the schedule for everything to come out back, that's where it's a problem. And by them doing every 3 month drops, what they're doing is doing the same thing that is finally decided in 3.0. They feature locked it, right? Okay, at this interval, these are all that's going in the next build. We got 3 months to make that build happen. Let's do it, guys. Anything else we're working on, that's going to be at the next interval, and doing it that way. And that's where we're at right now, right? 3.0 got locked, about 2 months ago? Feature locked?
What, like the beginning of...
the beginning of the burn
August,
downs, right? And all that stuff. Yeah. So it's been about... Yeah, we're about just over 2 months.
It was supposed to be locked last year.
I know, but it wasn't, because they came out and said, after they added all the shit, oh, now it's locked. And I'm like, it's August. You just locked it? I'm like, I thought this was supposed to happen, and no, they really didn't. And once it was feature locked, then it was all the burn down from then on. So from the first burn down episode moving forward, there you go. And that's why they might leave with them going to a 3 month interval. They might leave a burn down. Which features are going to be ready? Are they going to be ready for the 3 month interval? Here we go.
Right.
Every 3 months. We'll see what happens.
Maybe a burn down for Squadron 42 as well. I would like that.
Oh my God.
They probably really couldn't get too much in depth.
Here's the other thing that Aaron Roberts said about Squadron 42. They've been constantly saying, we're not going to send it to Evocati. We don't want to leak it. We don't want to do all that stuff. We don't want to have all that stuff with Squadron 42. Aaron Roberts said that they were going to probably have people test the Squadron 42.
Ooh, it's going to be leaky central.
That's what he said. And I was like, that confused me a little bit. But I was like,
wouldn't want to test,
because that was different.
Game. That's going to be some brave souls.
I don't know.
I wouldn't.
He didn't say for sure. He didn't say I promise. But he said that they were going to test Squadron 42.
And CIG isn't fucking around with, strikes. They're striking content for the stuff that's getting leaked to 3.0. They're actually going through with it now. So I caught that on YouTube.
What do you mean, striking content?
So a copy strike on YouTube is...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, okay, that's ours. Take that shit down. Like, they're actually about... Like, last time, I think it was 2.63 or something, people were leaking content. They didn't really enforce it. But now,
well, you know what surprises me CIG doesn't do? And there are about 15 videos out there from CitizenCon that are literally from CIG's broadcast that are just like their video. And they just cut it and pasted it on their YouTube. And they got like 150,000 views. And I'm like, they didn't add anything. They didn't talk over it. They weren't there. It wasn't a different camera angle. They just copy-pasted their stuff. And it's out there and it's got over 150K views on it. And they just relabel it CitizenCon.
Wild card, they do get a ban. They get banned from the Evo Cotty group. They don't get banned from the game for forever.
Although, maybe they should
that
get a
could
game
start.
ban. Because,
I think it should.
Well, if you
want to be a fan,
there's people exploiting in Star Marine that got banned.
Yeah.
Good. Get them the fuck out of here. Get them out.
Surprised the hell out of me, but that's awesome.
So there was also a particular person, I won't mention their name, but they were griefing in the game with you guys know the Connie bug at Olisar, where you can ram into stuff and it'll never destroy the Connie, right? It'll just continually fly around and you crash and crash. I think that the bug is, I think you have to remove engine or something like that, and then after that, as long as you don't have those engines, you could just crash into everything and continue to fly, right?
Yeah.
So it was a bug, and this guy just kept doing it, and people were asking him, "Hey, man, stop doing that! I just want to fly my ship." He's like, "Hey, man," they're like, "We're going to report you for grief," and he's like, "Hey, it's an alpha. I can do anything I want." And somebody screenshotted that. Yeah, no. Yeah, so somebody screenshotted
Rule number one, if you want to be an asshole in the game, don't say, "Hey, I can be an asshole in the game."
Yeah. Anyway,
that's
so
the first thing you do.
Unless it's EVE Online, and then it's okay.
He lost his account.
Yeah.
And then he was one of the people that actually got on, because I remember this. He came onto my channel. He came onto a bunch of people's channels and started trolling big time.
Yeah.
Because he was pissed. Because I think he had $600 or $700 in chips.
Probably.
Yeah, I didn't think you could get banned in Alpha doing stuff like that either. I wouldn't have thought.
Well, if you sit there and say "fuck you" and do what you want,
asking him to just please stop.
Yeah,
and he wouldn't stop.
Well, okay, I don't agree with.
He was using, like that, but he was using an exploit. Now, if I sat there and did actual game mechanics, they're supposed to or intended as usage. Like, say, take the same situation. I'm at Grimhex, and I'm sitting there in my Connie just shooting you on the platform repeatedly.
Yep.
I can do that.
Yep, that's
if I'm not using a bug where my ship won't even destroy and I'm blowing up everything on the ground by ramming it, and it's an exploit.
Yep.
Because
he was using a bug in the game to just cause everybody around in OSR grief, right?
If he wouldn't have used that bug, and he could have sat there and done that shit all day if he wanted to.
But one, they need to fix that, and two, you put people on a drought where they get so extremely fucking bored. It has to result to trolling.
I'm sorry,
even though I don't agree. I don't agree with him doing that and grieving people. But sometimes you get so bored in that seat. There's no content to fucking play.
Yeah,
you got to get reaction out of people to have some fun in there. I know it's a dick thing to do, but
or you can do what I do, go play PUBG.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, I'll never accept it. This is the thing, and I promote doing some nasty stuff to people in video games because that's a tactic to me. That's a tactic to make people not want to fuck with my group, not want to go get that piece of land, not want to go over and mess with my group of guys because I'm going to make it dirty on you. But if you use a bug or an exploit to commit to that, you should be the fuck out of there.
Yeah, right.
That's 100%.
Like you filmed that one where the guy was in the wall shooting, right? He was using the wall hack in Star Marine to just kill and push his numbers up.
I got caught in the wall before too, but I didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah, but he was doing it on purpose.
The guy I videoed was sitting there at the spawn, at his spawn, shooting everybody on the map without moving. He just pew, 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 pew. And I even had guys on his team that I knew because we play Star Marine so much, and they videoed from his side, watching him just shoot blankly at the wall, and he'd just kill everybody on the whole map because he had the aimbot thing going. And that shit.
Oh well, that's a bot. That's a whole.
That's a whole different deal. But and he lost his account too. But those things happen with people, and people, I'll never accept people go, "I'm bored, so I became an asshole." You know what I mean? I'm like, well, that's your choice. Then you risk your account, and then you risk the ban, and that's on you. If you're that bored, are you that bored that you want to throw away Star Citizen? That doesn't make sense to me. But
to me,
go
it's
play
like
another
if you're
game.
that bored, how many games do you have on Steam?
Well, you can go play Black Squadron, right?
I have 150 games on Steam.
There's Black Squad's free to play. There's free to play games all over the place. If it's like, I don't want to pay another game, that's your fault. You know.
Yep.
It's your fault. So it's whatever. I don't. Some people will call some of the tactics I use in games like EVE Online or what I will use in Star Citizen as griefing. That's not griefing.
No.
No.
Griefing is particular.
Yeah. If I have a actual tactical reason why I'm doing it, it might not be known to you, but there's a purpose behind it. So that's a whole different deal.
Griefing is really either using a bug in the game to cause pain and suffering to other players in the game, or following one particular person around no matter where they go and always killing them.
Yeah.
There's no in-game reason to always follow them, find them and kill them. Always just to get a laugh out of it. To get
if you're being paid to do it a lot, there's one thing too. But I don't take those types of contracts. But the one thing I will say,
that's a gray area with that.
The problem with defining griefing, because the whole definition of griefing depends on your intention. And how do you determine somebody's intent? It's almost like murder, right? Did you intend to kill them? Do you intend to try and make this person quit the game? Is your intention malicious on a real life level? Or is it something you're trying to accomplish in the game? Is there something you're trying to do there? And that's so gray because somebody could just fucking lie and say, no, my intention's this, or I'm role playing this, or I'm doing this. Griefing to me will always be if you're doing something without some sort of in-game purpose. If you're doing something to ruin somebody else's game for no tactical reason. If you're doing something to cause harm
like
to a person that distributes outside of the game, that stuff's griefing to me. But that's
if you're like, for example, you gave the example of a bounty, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what if somebody just keeps putting a bounty on somebody else's head again and again and again, and there's no, the guy gets it
should be more expensive every time. There should be a mechanic that helps dilute that to some degree, right? And that's my feeling on it. But I think like Beryl talked about stream snipers. Stream snipers are not griefers. I wouldn't be a streamer today without stream snipers because that's the reason I started streaming.
I think it was today or it was yesterday that somebody was trying to stream snipe me. Mm-hmm. I took him out.
Yeah. And it's stream sniping, and yes, that's once you bring in real life to the game, I think that is where you start to get in that grief or gray area by definition. But at the same time, they're making more and more of the games. They're wanting us to use third-party apps. They're wanting us to use stream tech. They're wanting us to use all these things. So it makes that whole what is griefing, what is not, very gray and hard to do. And again, as a mercenary, I'm not going to come to you as a miner, right? If you're out mining rocks, getting minerals, and I just come in with my guys and we just blow up your entire fleet, I'm not going to be like, hey, Joe Friday just hired me to blow you. I'm not going to tell that. That's my client privilege information. So to you might just think I'm a dirty pirate who just came in and blew up your whole fleet. And then the next day I do it again. And the next day I do it again. But little to your knowledge, I'm being paid to make sure nobody sits in this area at all. So to you, I'm an asshole. I'm a griefer. To me, I'm doing my job. So
here's the thing too, though.
It's hard.
Chris Roberts didn't they say that they are going to be taken off? Like they're going to try to make it so that we can't, like from a distance, you won't be able to identify players unless you contact them. Mm-hmm. How do they know it's not pirates? Like,
you're going to have to
AI
scan
pirates.
ships. You're going to have to be in scan range and ID stuff. Yeah. And it's only if that ship's beknownst to the Empire, like this is a pirate, this is a known entity. This ship has done some bad shit. Otherwise, you won't know until you hail them, until you have that communication. You won't know. And that's part of the awesome mysteries of space.
They want that.
Yes.
They want that to be one of the things that makes Star Citizen so different, is that you won't know if the ship you see off in the distance, even if you scan it, you're not going to know if it's a player or, because they're all going to have IFCs. They're all going to have funny names. I don't think that you're going to see Ninetales Pirate 10165. It's not going to be that anymore, No. And it's going to be the Whippoorwill,
Yeah.
And there's going to be,
I see Togar saying stream sniping's against TOS. But again, Anyone who stream snipes isn't going to come out and say, "Hey, I'm stream sniping you right now," unless they're an idiot. They're just
it's such a gray area, man. I mean,
it is because like people stream snipe all the time right now in the game. They do all the time to me.
Yeah, I don't care. The guy tried to get me, and I got him instead. So,
yeah,
people are gonna be ramming their ships into you for no reason. Is that griefing, or
they'll probably do it less and less because it's going to get real expensive to do, and it's going to have more time to do. You're going to have it happen though. For people to think it's just never going to happen,
but they're noobs. They're like, "Sorry, how do you go up?"
I had a person get so mad at me inside EVE Online that they literally wasted probably about $2,000 worth of spaceships trying to kill me. Like, we're talking limited edition factional ships trying to hunt me down and just kill me with weird shit. And I was like, hey, whatever, bro. It's to me that was satisfying that he was so wound up that he went to that extreme to do it.
Drones.
What?
But
what did I do?
Again, I don't promote people should go out and stream snipe, but I'm also going to tell you right now, if you're running a big fleet and I have a contract against you and you're on Twitch, if you think I'm just going to be like, oh, well, I got to ignore that piece of intel, really? You think that's what's going to happen?
Yeah, I can't get mad if I go on stream. If I fill up a whole E and I go stream right now, and I can't get mad if I get
you're banned because I know you're watching my stream. Come on.
That's you put a target on your fucking back. That's like, come get it, boys. Yeah. Like, the pirates are going to come after you. You're asking for it.
But the advantage in Star Citizen is, as you've seen, 8 minutes to get there. Okay, well, I watch a stream that's probably 2 to 5 minutes delayed by the time I see it. My intel's 8 minutes old, and you know what I mean? I mean, good luck with that. Unless I'm just sitting there hanging out going...
Especially with the vast distances that are in this game.
It's going to be really hard.
It's dang near impossible. Yeah.
What's going to happen is,
I don't see it
if you're on your ship and your buddy you don't know too well is on your ship and he knows you're streaming and he just wants to be, internet famous for a minute, he might turn around and shoot you in the head because he's like, oh, it's on camera. But then that's a bad choice of a buddy on your ship. You know what I mean? And, so Drones is over here.
So what ship are you flying?
One that allows you to have no weapons or hand grenades. Search that man well.
No grenades.
Drones. You know that Silence of the Lambs picture of when he's got the ball gag in his mouth and stuff like this. How we're gonna wheel drones into midship. This is Dr. Jones. He's kind of sociopathic, but
got a drone.
Not sociopathic.
Yeah. I think it's funny too because even people, he's talking about hiring Imperium to protect your ass and all that stuff. There's so many people that are waiting for people to pay them protection money. That's not what I want as a job. There'll be times I'll take that or I'll help out buddies. I'm waiting for the murder money. Like the people they got all of Imperium protecting them. Oh, really? That guy, they are? Oh, watch this. I'll get them anyway. It'll cost you a lot of money because I'll probably die doing this, but it's going to be a glorious explosion. It's going to happen.
That's one of the things with the jobs. I'm not going to be trusting people. Like selling that land to someone, and then someone could double dip and then sell that information to pirates that you're building bases and stuff there.
Yeah, that'll be nasty.
That whole system or selling information. Oh, there's a good mining rocks over there. Then sell it to fucking pirates. It's just that whole thing.
Hardest job in the world though in this game is going to be protection. Because tell me how you really protect somebody. Unless you take that person, put them on your ship. Like these people are like, oh, I'll protect your mining group. How are you going to do that?
You can set them up too.
In EVE Online, we tried to bubble around entire mining fleets to prevent people from killing them. It was veritably impossible. There's if somebody wants to kill somebody and sacrifice themselves doing it, it's almost like real life. If somebody's going to wear a suicide vest and they're going to walk into anywhere and kill themselves to do it, it's really hard to protect somebody without eliminating them from the situation. It's just so hard.
Right, but I don't think that. I hope they get the death mechanic right so that it hurts too much to be a douchebag.
That's right, and that's why
it hurts too much to be. I'm gonna ram my ship into your ship.
Well, that's what
you just died,
and that's why I say if somebody hires me to do that, they're going to have to pay me a ridiculous amount of money because it's going to hurt that bad. It's not something I'm going to do 50 times. A wall of
jabs and Idrises isn't going to do it.
Yeah,
that's not going to stop anything, guys. The thing is coming from the EVE world, we've seen cheap cheap throwaway ships. But if 200 of them simultaneously target and fire on the biggest, baddest capital ship, that ship melts.
We took out a carrier with the.
It's just an alpha strike.
Here's the thing: if you put 200, so I don't believe that like the guns on a Hornet or a Gladius will ever get through the shields of a Javelin or an Idris. They just won't.
What about 300 Hornets?
No, not even 300 of them. You just won't get through it.
It all depends about it depends.
I think you need the big torpedoes. You need those stuff.
It depends. Here's what we proved in EVE Online. It all depends on how they do the mechanic here. Depends on the recharge rate of the shields. If you break the interval of where the recharge rate of the shields are on a capital ship with smaller vessels, you will do it. But until you hit that threshold, it will do nothing to the ship. So it's all about spreadsheets and math. And that's where you find out the recharge rates. And that's we took down carriers, we took down capitals with the second to smallest ship in the entire game in EVE Online. But it literally took, if you didn't have at least 75 of them, wouldn't even dent the shields. If you went over 75 for every one you added, so you would start to break them by 1%. So whenever you took 150 or more, you could actually take down the shields of a capital within 3 seconds. But you had to get that many on grade.
Basically, they will be absolutely ineffective. You could have 1,000 Auroras and it wouldn't do anything because a size 1 or size 2 weapons just won't affect a capital shield at all.
What happens when you ram it, though?
That's what test plans.
Different. You're then a projectile, you know?
I don't know.
You're a completely different thing. So, but the thing is they also have a lot of automated turrets on
that's
these,
true.
And
if you
got enough 200 of them, there's only so many you can take.
It depends how far you can keep them off you. If you're doing sustained fire, like if they're trying to do what I'm talking about, like we did in EVE Online, you'd probably have a problem because you're going to probably pop 1 per second with the anti-flak guns on a cap
It's
ship.
like a sumo wrestler getting attacked by midgets. It's enough
if you ram them with all 200 ships, there's no time they're on the field. They're not trying to grind you down. They're just hitting you. So I think that would destroy it a lot faster and be hard to resist.
Suicide, kamikaze.
If you want 200 people to take a death hit for one capital, that seems a little ridiculous to me too, though. Yeah. It's like, all right, 200 guys, good luck. You just lost some rep and you lost all this other stuff. That's a lot of hits. But to be fair, maybe that's what all the counts would be for, because they're just Auroras.
Absolutely.
So, but the CIG will have to find the balance in that. First, you'd have to be able to get 200 people on grid with anything. And right now, that's not happening at all. So, but I would like to see what would happen. So
today, that was a big topic on my stream. We talked about object container streaming and serialized variables. And we watched both of those videos in like October 27th, actually, of 2016 was one video. And then another one was from this year, from June, I think it was, an ATV, where they talked about serialized variables. And both of those are extraordinarily important for getting the 200 plus or, the large numbers of people and assets in the same area. So this is something that I'm really looking forward to their ability to do this. I do believe that they are going to have this ability. And that's when I looked at the keynote video, right? All that stuff that build up to it was cool.
Yeah.
But when they got into ArcCorp Area 18 and they started walking out there, and then that's an entire city, I realized, okay, so the net code, the serialized variables, and the object container streaming, both are extraordinarily important.
Yep, absolutely. Was it Jessica or Garin says, it's not a gray area at all. Unjust anger like being foiled per agreed terms versus just anger like at cheating, breaching agreed terms. I don't know.
What?
I don't know either. The thing about...
It's a lot of caps lock, though. There's some passion behind that, and I can appreciate passion. I can appreciate that. But the last thing I'll say about griefing is you have to understand one thing Chris Roberts always advocates is he likes Dark Souls. So if you think the game's going to be easy, think about Dark Souls, and then think about Chris Roberts like, I think, Star Citizen should be Dark Soulsy. And Dark Souls is not a forgiving game. So death mechanic, all that stuff, I don't think are going to be super forgiving at all.
That and the boss fights take a lot of hits. So think of your Javelin or Idri or Idrises, whatever hell you want to call it.
I don't think they want to make it easy.
No. And remember what they said about when they had the shields on those ships, even hits from another Idris were not taken. They were fighting for over half an hour, and they were still not taking these down. From Capital.
Capital's punching each other in the face.
I don't really count that kind of stuff.
But that's an alpha strike.
Is yet balanced, right?
Well, but still, the point is that I think that what they intend is that it doesn't matter how many, unless you have like torpedo bombers. They want it to be where the little guns on your fighters, the missiles, the torpedoes that you have, a size 3 or what is a size 5 torpedo or something more bigger. That's the kind of stuff that you go to fire at a capital ship to start taking them down. But the little pew pew.
Yeah.
Now, if you just have pew pew, no, you're not. No, sorry. You're not going to do anything.
I don't like the pistols shooting at the ships blowing up. I think small arm fires shouldn't be destroying some of these ships like it is, especially a pistol. In some of these videos,
on all the CIG stuff, that's usually a tester pistol. That's not real.
Yeah, those are designed.
You can do it in burst though too. I tried it. I blew up one of my ships doing it.
I've never blown up a ship with a pistol.
I've blown a wing off of my Hornet with a pistol.
Well, I don't think I've ever sat there and had the patience to try.
The shields were.
Yeah, the shields are off, and you're just shooting at it.
Yeah, I was out of the ship, and I just
trust me. When you're bored, you try a lot of shit in this game when you ain't got no kind.
But again, I will be interested to test some of the mechanics like what we had in EVE on Alpha Strike versus like DPS. Because I think on Capitals, the DPS grind will be too hard because you won't be able to get enough ships on grid to like grind down the shields. And Alpha Strikes will be hard because just like you said, punching 2 Idrises in the face. With a recharge rate of like 1 to 2 minutes per fire, like they're not supposed to fire that fast. They cranked them up. But it takes a long time to fire that railgun or fire those type of cannons and stuff like that. You don't have enough alpha to like one-shot a capital ship. There's just not enough in it. Not without multiples of them focusing fire like what we did in EVE. Where you have like everything, all right, everybody primary this and fire in 3, 2, 1, and then it breaks their shield tank, their armor tank, and pops the ship.
Yeah.
So there's going to take a lot of coordination to make some of those big fights happen. It'll be interesting. It'll be really interesting.
Yeah, and considering that you need an entire crew of players to run a capital ship, it's not like EVE where one ship equals one person.
But in EVE, we had to have one ship equals one person times 200. So in this, it's even worse. It's like you'll have one ship times 40 crew times multiple ships times 40 crew in each one.
The crew that they have for the Javelin?
Yeah.
80.
Yep.
You guys are going to have to help me out with that.
I thought each ship was going to have its own instance. I thought that was the plan a while ago. Each ship was going to have its own instance.
It will, but I'm talking about as far as coordinating to primary on a single target. Say you have something come in that, say you have like a, what's the big Vandal King ship come in? You have to bring like 3 or 4 Idrises on field, plus javelins, and have all these different crews, all these captains coordinate fire on the single target to try to break its tank, and then everybody's independently in their own zone firing on a single object in the whole verse. It's like, it's going to be
and
a
it's
lot
not
of
just about fighting either. As your ship is getting hit, you've got engineers inside of there doing repairs, people replacing fuses and all that other things, trying to make sure that your ship doesn't get destroyed. So you got these people frantically on the inside of these
you're
ships
burning out couplers, you're burning out like, all sorts of stuff because your guns are constantly firing, you're overheating guns. And if you have bad gunners, from my understanding from talking to Tony, the plan is if your gunners overheat their guns all the time, it's going to damage those conduits faster, which is awesome. That means if you have a shitty gunner and he's always redlining, you're going to have somebody replacing those type of energy blocks all the time. But if somebody knows how to run the guns and not overheat them a lot, that gun will last a lot longer. And that's going to be so cool. I mean, those type of mechanics are going to be amazeballs in there. So it's going to make a difference whether it's AI or a regular player. Because if you have a guy over there like, I'm just drinking beer shooting, and he's just redlining all the time, his gun's going to go out.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's...
You got to fire that fucker.
That's right. So some of those things are like people are like, I'll just hire all AI.
And shoot.
Yeah. If you just hire all AI, there's no guarantee you aren't going to have AI that redline a lot. If they're not high-end, gunners too, they might go up.
I wouldn't cheap out on gunners. So I'd pay top dollar.
And then you have engineers, AI engineers. Are they efficient? Are they going to carry 2 blocks to like replace? Or are they going to be like, an AI guy, I'll just run back and forth to engineering all the time, take my time to replace this stuff. I think all these positions, high usage positions, are going to be critical. And according to what Tony said, they want to make sure every high usage position on your ship is always going to be done better by a player than an NPC. He said that. So you have to remember that. So people are like, I'll just hire NPCs because they'll be better. Well, if there are guys got players in those key positions and you don't, it's going to be a thing.
I mean, that's to be expected, though. What game in history has the NPCs been better than having human players?
A lot. There's a lot where you buy high-end AI and they're just mob and they're just so much better because they don't have the same react. They just don't care. Their targeting's better. They always hit. They don't miss.
They're aimbots. Yeah. Realistically.
Really, they are if you buy high-end ones and stuff. Yeah. So there's a lot of games.
I don't know what games you guys play because if I have an NPC team, like on Rocket League, having human teams is better than having an NPC team.
Well, yeah, but that's a game that's balanced to favor towards players, and it should be. But there are games I know that are RPGs where you can buy like companions or hire NPCs in the game, and those guys are better than the people. Those guys, if you gear them up right and you got good weapons stuff, they just go and hack and slash, and you can just stand back and heal them. And if you just heal them the whole time, they'll just...
Do you think that that's going to be how this is?
No, they don't want... Tony says explicitly he doesn't want that. He wants it to where the players are more important than the NPCs. You can fill in the spot with an NPC, but you much rather have a person do it than an NPC. But on the other end, the non-hireable NPCs, they want to make sure those guys give you enough challenge, right, to where you have to overcome them. So it's a balancing act. What they give you available is if you buy extremely high-end NPCs, they're going to be as close to player skill as possible. But if you're fighting an NPC, some of those guys might exceed some player skill to make them more challenging. Because they already said, like with the current NPCs we fly around and dogfight with, they had to crank those guys all the way back down to 1. Because when they had them on 5, they kicked the shit out of people. They were just like, the AI for the dogfighters and stuff were so good that they were just like, you couldn't even beat them. They had to dial that back down right now in 2.63 to like 1. So think about that too. So that
was more like an aimbot issue. I'm talking about like what flying and movements.
Yeah, but that was
it's very easy to put on an aimbot and just snipe you, hit you from everywhere.
That's right, because the computers don't miss. There's no computers have to be told what interval to miss at, what algorithm to like be worse than they are, because a computer will always beat you because you're playing on the computer. It's like it doesn't miss anything if you don't make it miss.
Yeah, it knows where you are.
I mean, now with the way that the weapons work in Star Citizen, what I can imagine is what they will do is they will create a tolerance for so you know how we see the pips, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what they're going to do is they're going to create like this wander of the aim, right? So it's going to wander. It's going to be a 2-degree wander. It's going to be a 4-degree wander.
I call it the stormtrooper mode.
Something like that, right? So it's going to be that so that they're missing as much as a person would.
Yep.
And they can base that degree of wander of the aim. So they're going to be aiming at it, but it's going to have wander. It's going to be like have this loose level of play, just like if it was a person. And they can increase that loose level of play for less skilled, NPC and tighten it for the more skilled NPC, right? And another thing that they were talking about before with the NPCs and how, with us hiring NPCs to crew our ships is that the better, the more qualified, the more skilled that the NPC is, the more money they're going to want, for one.
Absolutely.
And the more, not only the more money they're going to want, but they're going to want to be treated better as well. So you're going to have to buy better food for them. You're going to have to provide better accommodations for them. You're going to have to give them more vacation time. I mean, if they're really good, they may be so demanding, it may not just be worth it,
Yep. Best lap dances in the entire club. They're going to have to get them all. You're going to on the side. That's the way it goes. No. But yeah, so, they'll dial it up to William Tell or all the way back down to Stormtrooper aim with the Wonder. It's like... where you can't hit anything or you're going to hit everything right on. But yeah.
Well, I don't think that we'll ever see. Here's what I think. I think that they will allow NPCs to get pretty dang good.
Oh yeah.
But I don't think they'll ever allow them to be on target every time.
Yeah, I don't think so. And if they did, they'd have to go with a lower fire rate, or they'd have to do something. But they'll always have some sort of handicap. That's just the way it'll have to be, or else they'd kick your ass every time.
Well, as you said, when they had the NPCs in our current iteration cranked up, they were kicking everybody's butt.
Yeah, and that was at like 5 too. Yeah, that was like 5 or something. I don't know. It was Tony was like, yeah, we had to dial that back because it wasn't going to happen. All right.
They used to be much more difficult.
Way more difficult. And that's at every level. Like, if you're thinking about Vandal Swarm, we're talking about the level 1 guys. Nobody would get past level 1.
Right.
You know? It's like they get increasingly more difficult with the shifts, but the level 1 was like blowing away the people who wrote the program. So it was like, this wasn't happening. Let's see here. So one of the other big aspects, we'll go through the fly through the whole ArcCorp. We kind of already glazed over that, but I wanted to talk more about the mechanics.
God, that was amazing.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, it was.
But I do want to run this in the background while we talk this. This intro to the Pioneer was amazeballs.
Yes.
To have this guy, and what I can't remember his name, who's Consolidated Outline guy.
Silas.
That they modeled after basically like an Elon Musk type personality and all that stuff. I mean, it's like it
was better than the Bishop speech to me.
Yep. Well, hey, so check this out, guys. The Silas voice. Go listen to Jean-Baptiste Zorg from
Fifth Element.
Fifth Element. This guy sounds exactly like him.
I had the same thought.
Yeah. It sounds
Oldman.
exactly like. So I wouldn't be surprised if they had hired Gary Oldman and said, hey, you want to do this for us?
Okay.
And he was like, oh, yeah, sure. And he just went back to the Zorg voice that he had from Fifth Element.
Yeah.
That would work great.
If you guys remember Prometheus, what was the guy named Welvin or Webben, whatever, he did the TED Talk 2023. It almost looks just like this.
Uh-huh.
If you go look it up. And the guy, he kind of reminds you of this character. So I think that's where they kind of got it from. With a little bit of Elon Musk with Matthew McConaughey's voice.
Zorg was one of my favorite characters of any show, like any bad guy. He had so much personality and charisma to that. Gary Oldman's amazing.
Gary Oldman's one of my favorite actors of all time.
He's got an incredible range. His range of characters is insane. Yeah. Insane. What was that? There's another movie I really liked him in that a lot of people forget about. Was it The Professional? Remember that one with the assassin where he played the cop? That was like, I love that, where he's the bad guy. Again, he plays such a great bad guy that it's just like people forget about that.
Good guys too.
He does play good guys too, but his bad guy characters are so good.
In Batman as well.
Yes.
A lot of people can't pull that off. It's either you're a good bad guy or a good guy, and he can just do both good.
Yeah, he's got the range for it.
He's a fantastic actor. Oh my god.
Yeah. He's part of a scam though now. So
hashtag not sponsored by Gary Oldman. Any of this stuff.
I'm sorry. I just find his work to be absolutely amazing.
Oh, The Professional's filmed 2 blocks away from your house. That's pretty awesome. That's awesome. Also, quick note, guys, if you haven't entered already, we are doing a $10 gift card giveaway. ! SpaceBros in chat. If you haven't already entered that, we already have 42 entries. So get
perfect
in there
number.
I know. We might just close it down.
That is freaking awesome. 42.
Yeah, 42 entries. So
let's mark it done.
We'll go ahead and fast forward through this 5-minute prologue here. But just a shot of here comes the beautiful, sexy, amazing Pioneer in there and landed it and all that stuff. I think it's funny where the guy's like standing there in the foreground and it's like he gives a thumbs up to land. Like you'd even see that dude.
No. In that ship, you're not seeing that dude.
That dude's like, he looks like a small pebble on the ground.
Oh, man. I'm so glad I got one of these.
Land here, Joe.
I think there's still like 280 left or something, or 270 after that Q&A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's only with cash only. So if they sell all these, That'll be 4,000 sold. That's a lot of money, even though a lot of people use credit. But
you could only
that's
only
3,000 with cash.
Yeah, 3,000 with cash, and so far it's it's like, what is it, 26 something with cash, 26.20 or something like that.
Mm-hmm. It's not that many left, and they got until Monday. So over the weekend they may sell them all, maybe not.
They probably will. I wouldn't doubt it.
I wouldn't doubt it either.
And then after
I'm pretty
that,
sure they will.
they're going to have the November sale. They're going to cash out again.
Yep.
Yeah,
you got so many people who want their Carrick and Reclaimer. They're going to make a lot of fucking money this year. I can tell you that.
I think every year they make a lot of money.
The Reclaimer is beautiful, so I know there's going to be a lot of people out there buying that one.
You got to think, because there's always new people. Like when I came in, there were ships that I wanted. I couldn't wait to get for the sale in 2014. I'm like, whoa, I got to get that ship.
You can see in this shot right here that I'm pretty happy when I saw that, because it's good for the audience. Like every shot to the audience, it's like, oh, there I am, and then you can see Toy right here.
Is he sleeping in that one?
Not with this one. He slept in all the art panels.
God damn.
Man, we were worn out. I get it. I mean, there was times I was kind of fading out a little bit too, but I didn't go.
That second panel, that's the one I actually woke up in the morning to watch. I'm like, damn, I gotta stay asleep for this one. I'm sorry, I just wasn't interested with that one. The rest of them, I could have missed out on the Jean and the one where they were going by each frame and what it's doing and all that. I'm like,
yeah.
The rest of them were pretty good though. That's why I was like, wow, did everyone leave to miss these animations? Because those animations were beautiful.
Yeah, I think, right. But what do you guys think of, like, let's get everybody's impressions of the Pioneer. What do you think this means for the game? I mean, as far as introducing these mechanics, those type of things. Let's go through everybody and just kind of talk about that for a brief moment. We'll start with drones this time.
Start with me. Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm super hyped for it. I didn't have the financial situation to purchase one this time around. Following TwitchCon and everything, it wasn't there. But I would like one. That's an awesome freaking ship. I like the idea of being able to build bases. I personally do want to have a planet to call home and not just be a free floater in space. Nothing wrong with it, just not what I want to do. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to being able to build shit. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Uber Nerd?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got one, so of course I'm extraordinarily happy about that, and it is definitely a game changer. It changes the entire economy, the way that the things that you can do in the game, and to think about as you're sitting there on a planet building bases. You could do this for other players. You can do this for NPCs. I think what they really want to be able to do is that with the Pioneer, you're going to be able to take a job for the UEE or take a job for some corporate entity, Shubin Mining, for example, and go build platforms for these guys. If you take a job for Shubin Mining, you'll say, okay, well, it's going to be in a pretty dangerous spot. And they'll say, yeah, well, we have, this is for, it's a giant, they might have really huge. And then you have to get people to do mining, to do cargo hauling to you, to bring in all the materials. I just love the idea to see this entire like assembly line of ships and players bringing materials, doing protection, do all this other. It's just, oh my God, it's so cool.
Yep.
So I'm happy I got one.
Yep. Gio?
Let me tell you something. I melted a couple ships for this bad boy. I wasn't hyped at first when I heard about it, because it was like, oh, it's a game changer. There was a lot of hype behind it, and there was a lot of hype behind the 600i, and it wasn't all that everyone hyped it up to be. So when I kind of sat back, but the moment I seen it, and with this commercial, I was hitting that F5 button. I'm like, oh, I'm getting one of these bitches. It is an amazing ship. You could have like your own construction company, basically, in game.
Yeah.
Just because there's a lot of people who are not going to have this ship.
Well,
you're going to need your service. Hey, can you build this base?
Especially for people, it makes sense for people, whether you're in a military application, whether you're in a mining application, whether you're,
the refineries. I love refineries in games, too.
Yeah. This really is not only the game changer to me, this is the first tangible, immersive gameplay that you're going to have that's actually a territorial type conquest mechanic. And, CIG for a long time has been really on the edge, like, we're going to make it so you could build some stuff in space and, there's some things, but they didn't really want to be forthcoming whether there was going to be something for us to fight over, something over for us to work together with, something for us to bind us together and have a object or a goal. And even the tech design, the whole thing they went through on creating this, they had to think really heavily about the game mechanic behind it.
Right.
And this is the answer. This might not be the only answer, but this is their first answer to provide us with a mechanic beyond even the ship. Well, I'm just talking about the territorial claiming system to give us an element that's meaningful, something you control for you individually or your organization that will cause conflict, that will reward each other, that we will want to protect from NPCs and other players, things that will actually mean something in game and promote emergent gameplay, stuff we could just make up and do in the game ourselves. That has minimal oversight by NPCs. You will have some mechanics depending if you want that AI functionality, but this is the beginning. This is the beginning of everything for what could sustain gameplay for decades inside this game. It really could. This one mechanic
that really make the most sense. Like, I know everyone, there's not everyone, but a lot of people complain about concept sales. This is one of those ships that I don't really see too many people complain about because it makes sense to have this mechanic and sell it in the game.
It does something, and we understand what it does.
It's not just another fighter. I can understand like the fighter fatigue. I'm like, God damn, another fighter. But this one makes so much sense, and it opens the door for maybe another Pioneer type ship that could build a space station, because on the Q&A you can't build space stations. So if you guys were wondering that's out the window. And the mining, like on the asteroid, you can't build it on the asteroid. So this may open, the playing field for all that stuff. And even one on the water, you got to, refine stuff underwater. Maybe some minerals you can't find on land. So, I mean, the sky's the limit.
The gameplay surrounding this has me more excited, but it's equally as important as the fuel mechanic for the Starfare, right? A lot of people bought Starfares because everybody's like, oh, this is the first big ship that we can fly that makes sense. Even though the mechanic's not out, it makes sense. You have to get fuel. You don't have to get it from NPCs now. You can make it yourself. You can deliver said fuel to other entities. You can refuel for yourself. It makes sense. And this is, again, all back down to that. This is another thing that means you could actually claim and harvest resources in areas. You can actually have an outpost to experiment with. You could potentially make weapon caches and storage areas to resupply your own people for whatever purpose, whether it's exploration, whether it's military, whether it's whatever. All
just
these
a
different
chill
game
spot.
mechanics from that. Because safety emergent places, or as you said, like a construction company. Say you own a mining organization and you want to be able to use those materials, whether you resell them or do you have another company that's a base builder and you're piping materials to the other company and that's your agreement to do that. Or if you're a mercenary organization like mine, maybe they're not even for you. Maybe you need to protect an installation or destroy one to clean it up for another entity that wants that spot. Do you pay a group under the table like mine to come in and blow up somebody else's outpost so you can come in and claim the land? Those type of things, all that different gameplay from this one ship, one mechanic, that gets me really excited about the game. Super excited.
Yeah.
So that's
if I have a small ship like a 315P and I got the scouting capabilities and Pathfinder stuff, and I know someone with a Pioneer, hey, I know an area, but if I give you this intel, I want give me a piece of the pie.
Or maybe
a quick way to make money. If you don't have a lot of money in game and you want to make some money, boom.
Think about a full service organization though. Like say you're a corporation and you have a mining division. You have the Pioneer guys, and then you have explorers. You go out and find resources, sell that to a person, say, hey man, for an extra fee, we'll drop you a base right there too. We'll have it all set up for you to come in and do the whole thing. We'll explore it for you. We'll set up the base. We'll show you how to get there. We'll give you the bookmarks. We'll do the whole thing. And there it all is in one big package. And then somebody drops cash money. That's a thing. And there it is.
Right. I'm interested to see whether or not, how they work the player created towns, villages. And will there be something that if we can create a big enough town or settlement, and we bring in, will NPCs move in? Right?
That's a good question.
Yes. Sell it to NPCs.
That's a really good question.
Well, but not just sell it, because NPCs are making up 90% of the population. If we build a big mining operation, we're of course going to need to build the living quarters, the housing for the NPCs. And then those, will us building a mining operation with lots of NPCs also attract maybe NPCs to start a store there, a general store or something like that? Do you know what I'm saying?
Cool.
Will stuff start to crop up? A big pioneer.
I hope they go into that gameplay in villages. That's what I'm hoping villages are, where it's something that players can create, but NPCs or other players can move into shops and do things there. The problem is you run into destructibility and stuff in some of these, and I don't know if they go that deep with outposts. I think that's their first fairly into it and see where we go with that. But I think it could expand into something much greater. We'll just have to see where they go with it. But I hope they drop this mechanic in there by beta. That might be a little aggressive, but it'd be nice for the playthrough.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I think this mechanic would be... I would say this mechanic... I'd like to see it in even before the Endeavor.
Yeah.
I mean, not to say that the Endeavor is not important. It is. But they can do biodome farming without the Endeavor. They can do hospital type stuff on a smaller scale, medical stuff with the Cutlass Red.
The challenge they're going to have between now and beta, no matter what they do, is the fact that you have to have every feature in a game to call it a beta, right? That's a game's feature locked. You're basically testing through a beta, mode.
People still do betas? I thought everything was public alpha nowadays.
Yeah.
Well,
that's a lot of public alpha.
Betas, if you're talking EA, beta's your early release dates. It's not actually a beta, right? So, but a true beta is a test of the feature locked game. Yeah. That's what a beta is. So you're not going to add extra features. You're not going to do all that stuff. That's where you're at for all right, let's make sure all these mechanics work in harmony. Make our final adjustments now, and that's it. Mm-hmm. Then you're live from there. So. But some of these images here where we're talking about, they have the front 2 turrets, because it's got a total 4 turrets on it. The front 2 are remote turrets.
Nice, yeah.
The back 2 are manned. Which makes sense to me because under the layout of it, the accessibility of the 2 manned turrets are backed by the bridge. So you can get to them pretty easily because you only have a 4 to 8 man complement crew, right? 4 to 8.
Right.
Yeah.
And so the remote turrets would probably be manned by stations inside the bridge, right? Remote console, and then you have there. So mostly you really don't need anybody anywhere except in your bridge type area or maybe over by the loading area on the landing pad.
So one of the things that I was thinking about because Consolidated Outlands only has the Mustangs, right? Mm-hmm. They have no bigger ships.
Yeah.
And they need to completely redo the entire Mustang line. They have to. It's a starter ship.
Well, they already did.
No, they haven't.
Well, they got to rework. If you looked in the brochure.
Well, that's a concept picture.
Yeah.
They actually have to go in and do a complete of the whole series. And my hope is that they say, hey, okay, we're going to use the Pioneer and the rework of the Mustangs to completely fill out the Consolidated Outlands pipeline. We're just going to go through and we're going to make that pipeline complete.
In the presentation, they kind of said that don't count this as the Consolidated Outlands look because it's kind of like Aegis with the Reclaimer. That it's more of the industrial, job type ship. So it's they still need their own look for their line.
Right, the external look is one thing. What I'm saying is there's a lot of internal pipes fittings, a lot of smaller stuff that when you're inside the ship, you're going to see. Not the engine room, not the big stuff but the more little stuff that would also cross over to be put into the Mustangs.
Yeah,
they have not said Arctic Games. They did not say they are already working on the Mustangs. It was on the schedule. They were supposed to, according to the schedule that we're not seeing right now. They took that off. It's not on the website anymore. But according to that, they were supposed to be working on the Mustangs right now, but we haven't heard that. I have not heard any one of them say, yes, we are currently working on the Mustangs. They have not said that as far as I know.
I don't know.
Am I wrong? Did they say that?
No, they're basically working on the artwork. I mean, that's why they put it in a brochure.
Well, the artwork, yes, but that's different than, because I think what they're kind of reimagining the whole Mustang series is what I think is going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the wings aren't going to be the landing gear no more. They're actually going to have actual.
Yeah. The interiors are a problem because there's a lot of clipping issues and stuff. I think they have to redo the whole grid because I have a Mustang Delta.
So they're redoing the concept for the Mustang is what I think is going on. They are not actually working on the assets yet, as far as I know. I could be wrong.
Consolidated still does need its own.
If they did say that,
I wouldn't count that into the ships, though. I wouldn't count their industrial ship into that mix of their look because, like they said, this is its own division of the industrial type stuff, just like the Reclaimer with age. The Reclaimer looks nothing like any of the other age ships. Like it looks like it belongs with the RSI.
And Mitt, you were saying?
I was just saying that I haven't heard them say anything directly about pitting an artist on the rework for the Mustang. I know their intention is to do it. I have heard them say that, but I have not heard that they have a live person doing it right now.
Well, they had to do something because there's that concepted picture.
I think they've gone concept. I don't know, and they haven't released any new concept to us other than what we saw in the picture.
Well, they've been saying little things. They say you don't have to crouch down to get in anymore. You don't. The wings aren't going to be landing gear anymore. So there's got to be something going on with it.
Oh yeah. I think they're in the concept phase of finishing that out, and they're probably right now assigning an artist to start the actual form factor of it, I imagine.
Right.
Because that would make sense. If they already know what they're doing directionally on the Mustang, then they probably either already just now have assigned an artist or they have an artist already assigned to it. But, again, I haven't seen them come out and say, hey, we got an artist on the Mustang, guys, which they might. I haven't heard it, though.
Yeah, like they did the entire rework for the Aurora. They got to get the Mustang because it sells as almost as much as the Aurora.
The starter ships really need to be a priority, in my opinion.
They do,
because that's what's going to expose new players to the game.
Yeah, exactly.
And you don't want clipping issues and everything else, and it being wonky. That's more important than the look or feel to me. If they're wonky when you're getting in, if I just spent $60 on the game and I get into this ship, and it's already glitchy and weird and all that stuff, that's a problem from the outset. And that's a lot of times why, even though people say, "Oh, get the Mustang, you get $5 more if you do this and that, and you melt this," I'm like, just get the Aurora. The Aurora works.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they used it for that demo.
I do too.
For 3.0 demo, because look, you get a $60 package. You could do all this with this base ship. You're not left out. So from a $60 ship to a $600 ship, you all can do this right now.
Absolutely.
It was pretty too. Though.
Yeah, the inside, I'm not gonna lie, the inside was pretty nice. Everything. It's just I hate the outside of it, but the inside and the console and everything.
The outside, I thought the outside looks way better than the old Aurora. I think they really, I think they cleaned it up. I like it.
Cockroach, space cockroach,
something like that.
No, the space cockroach. That's the Saber.
No, don't talk about my Saber. How dare you?
You leave the Saber alone. What's wrong with you?
You
little cockroaches.
No,
I don't even know you anymore, man.
Get a picture of a cockroach and get the Aurora.
I love the amount of detail they put on the interior of this, though, too. Like, where they're sitting there, even in the concept, they're showing how it is like a full manufacturing plant that's building it. It's not a 3D printer. It's a full, they actually construct it, mold it, put it out there, and then it's like, here's the module. I love the idea of how they're doing these things. And they actually show the flow of, like, okay, so you have the landing pad that's over right in here. and they show that's where you drop off the materials, and this is the materials right here.
Yeah.
And then it goes through their flow graph of how it goes into the manufacturing process, through the machine to kind of do those things, and it flows both ways, right? Like the components go this way and that, and it flows into here to make the actual module. And I'm like, that is just so cool how it comes from both sides, and then it goes into this to actually make the compartment of what you're trying to build. And
and then they have the assembly area between these two, between the two forward areas that where you take once you create the module, then you move it with the cranes over to the other area, and then you assemble it with robots.
Yep, it's pretty cool.
I think that's so cool.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I hate my factory job, I'm so interested in this ship in the factory and how it's going to work. I don't know why I'm so interested in the factory stuff in game, and I hate it in real life. But it's going to be cool to look at and judge it.
It's space.
Well, and they talk about here,
this makes everything better.
If you could be assembling Ford Fiestas on the
in space,
you'd probably be going, I want to go to work, dude.
Yeah, I told them I want to be their factory consultant. I'd help them out.
Yeah.
See how everything works, because even now, I mean, it's real futuristic.
Yeah, this arm comes out. They're talking about, like Bear's asking. He's like, the arm comes out over here so that way it'll actually crane over the pieces and all that stuff and lay them down. But they're built internally here, and this all opens up, and then it shows the additional cargo.
That additional cargo area with the arm that opens up like that, is that a place that has conveyor belts so you can land ships, bigger cargo ships in that area right there?
Not on the north part.
What's that?
On the southern part, yes, that's where your landing pad is. On the south.
No, that's for small ships.
They don't have a big area to land big ships, no.
No, when you open up, so go back a little bit. You know, when it's landed, and you have that one additional where it says that thing swings wide open, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't that thing have conveyor belts on it so you could land a bigger ship beside, so see up there where it's being blocked right now, but you would land a ship up there beside the Pioneer and right next to where this arm goes out.
I'm not 100% sure. I thought that's where stuff craned out.
I thought that moved.
Yeah,
it does move. It swings out when you land, but it doesn't do anything else other than that. It's not a crane.
Well, I thought it swings the other side of the ship in and kind of moves it in. I thought, I
don't know. Where's the animation one? Because
did they have it on the Q&A?
See, this is where you place the stuff in there in the middle, right?
All I know, there's a lot of questions with the ship.
Look at how awesome that is, right?
Yeah, the bridge
is an awesome bridge.
And then the interim. Then they have the habitation mess hall. I mean, it's huge. This is such a huge ship. Because there's the mess hall they go to here, and then it's like,
right?
Yeah.
Look, there's a movie room down there. So I was talking when I saw that there was a TV down there.
Yeah,
right, where people are sitting on the couches. Why wouldn't it be cool if you could have your Amazon Prime movies coming out through there? Yep. Sit down with.
Oh my God.
Watching Amazon Prime movies.
Hey, another cool thing, you could customize the inside the ships with the mess halls like that. And, that's a new feature that no one really talked about. I'm like, that is cool.
In the bunk room here, where they got all the beds kind of slotted like they're racks.
Yeah. Movie night. Movie night on the on my Pioneer.
See, and that goes back to the NPCs. What if they want, big vending machines, a pool table in there? You got to, adjust to what they want there.
See that picture there where you just paused it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're talking about the arm.
The arm swings out where they're comparing the Caterpillar. Isn't that out there where there's conveyor belts? So if you park your Caterpillar close by, you can move cargo.
I think so, but I'm not 100%.
Because what I see, that landing pad is not big enough to handle anything bigger than a Freelancer. That landing pad over there, I think even a Freelancer a bit big, but still, you probably can land a free landing pad. But this arm that swings out, I thought that they said, I was reading about it, but it might have when I looked at it, I thought, well, it probably has conveyor belts on it so that you can unload cargo, put it onto those, and that moves it into the usable cargo area on the Pioneer for building. And that's how you bring more materials on board with the larger cargo ships. And it may not, it may only work. Yeah, it may only work to dock. Oh, Yeah, somebody who said like docking a hull like in space, because they said you could build these things in space, right? You can build the outposts while you're in space.
I don't know if you can or not because I don't know. They weren't real specific on whether you can build all these while it's closed or not. That's why I don't know.
They did say that you could build it while it was in space, but
build what, outpost?
Yeah,
you not on the Q&A.
You can't deploy it, but you can build it.
You can build it while you're flying, but you can't deploy it until you land.
Because you build each module of it, not the completed outpost. It said.
Right. I mean the singular. You can build a module while you're flying. You can be done with the first module.
Oh, that's convenient.
Yeah, you can't move once you're done with it, until you move it out of the way, you can't start building the next one. So, and no, you cannot build them for putting them in space.
Yeah.
You can build them while you're in flight. Then when you get to your destination, you land, you can then pick it up with cranes and move it out and start building the next one, right? So you can get a head start.
But if you build it inside your ship, and then I remove your ship from around it.
Hey, as soon as you touch down, boom.
Cockroaches.
Yeah.
Cockroaches everywhere.
Well, yeah, you could, but think about this. Delamar is an asteroid. Technically.
You can't build them on asteroids either. They already said that.
Yeah. Delamar is an asteroid.
Oh well, that planet, yeah.
It's not a planet. It's an asteroid. So Delamar is an asteroid that has Levski on it. So on an asteroid that size, sure, I imagine.
As long as you have a smooth area.
What's that?
As long as you have a level area big enough.
Well, okay. So think about this. Remember when Chris Ross pointed up when they were doing that demo? When they did that demo at Gamescom, and they pointed up and they said that asteroid up there is 20 kilometers wide.
Yeah.
Do you think that you'd be able to put something on one of those?
As long as there's a
something
smooth
that's
area,
20 kilometers wide is huge.
As long as it's a smooth area, I would say that they would like to.
Yeah.
But again, they talked about
it's going to get filled up a lot if you got a couple pioneers on here, because you could get quite a bit of land on there.
Where was it at?
The land size?
No, it said 4x4, 8x8. They haven't determined what the claimable area sections will be at. I remember that.
I think
there it is. Can we use Pioneer to build outposts? The exact answer is we're not opposed to the idea. However, it will depend on a few different factors that still need to be decided. The size of the asteroid. What do we do with the voxel tech? And if the surface of the asteroid is smooth enough to build.
Right. So I can imagine an asteroid that is 20 kilometers in wide, with flat spots, just flat enough for you to land on. That shouldn't be too, you should be able to do it.
That's what I would think as well. And
I would imagine that the asteroids, like Vekler was saying, the asteroids that size, they're probably not the voxel asteroids.
Probably not.
Well, that'd be cool if it was, because then you could set up a refinery on that asteroid and just mine from there. You don't even need no Orion. Just had the pioneers set it up.
It's true.
That'd be cool.
Which is a really cool idea.
It is a really cool idea.
That would. And maybe a lot of salty Orion owners.
No, there wouldn't. Because think about, what they were saying. Remember when they said about, and I was saying, you can mount mining lasers on any ship that has the proper hard point, right? And you can mount the tractor beams on any ship, but you won't have any way to store because
it has to
stuff, right?
Go into the mining laser and be stored somewhere.
Or refine it either.
All you have to do is have a bunch of ships that can mount those lasers. So you got, like say you get 5 ships that all mount the mining laser, but they have no other way to deal with it. 5 ships that mount tractor beams on them, and then just get an Orion there. Mine, and then the tractor beam ships are moving it into the mouth of the Orion, and the Orion just sits there and says, Feed me, Seymour."
Something like that. I can see that.
Sounds like Eve.
What's that?
said it sounds like Eve. All this mining talk.
Now, in the future, do you guys think they'll come out with a smaller solution for this? Because you got with the Orion, you have the Prospector, which is a much smaller ship. Do you think get like a RV sized type ship that could build a little something, or what?
I think
I don't know about building. I don't know about building, but I think they might consider a ship that permanently deploys itself as a small base. I could see something like that.
I could see a much smaller construction type ship that would take much longer. You could land the ship. It had some of the tools on it, but each piece of the outpost, you would have to take, you'd move it out with a crane. And, you just sit there and build you build the floors. Then you move that out with a crane, and then you attach them to the ground. Then you build a wall, and you move that out, and you have to actually get your person out there and sit there and weld it along. Okay. And it would take way longer. So it'd be a smaller operation, but it would take a lot longer to do.
It's true.
I could see them do something like that.
All right. Real quick around the room, what was your favorite part of the overall presentation? Start with Uber Nerd.
Flying over ArcCorp. Area 18, getting on the ship, and then flying over that city just looked so stunning. Just absolutely, my jaw was dropped the entire time.
Yep. All right, drones.
I actually liked seeing the ground play with the Nox and everything. Like, that was pretty cool.
Cool. Geo.
Okay.
Oh man, Tuffy. I would have to say probably flying over Hurston and seeing the monorail system, and between that and Sean Tracy showing off the tech, procedural tech, and the interiors. I love when he comes. I knew he was going to show something special, but just to build those interiors, even though it may not be the whole city with interiors. I mean, if you could just get a certain percentage of that, I mean, you could technically stay on one planet for like the whole game. You wouldn't even have to leave. There'd be so much content on that one planet if they could nail that down right. But what I heard, it's only a couple things they could do.
I did the math on that, Gio. So if you took, let's consider that if the planet ArcCorp was the exact size of Earth, that's about 12,700 kilometers in diameter. It did the math and figured out if they put cities that you could with interiors on 1/10 of 1% of that entire planet, it would still be something like 680,000 square kilometers of city.
That's insane. That would be insane.
1/10.
I mean, you would get fucking lost.
Yeah. So 1/10 of 1%, and you'd still have more play space than all of the Star Citizens who are so far backing the game could explore in years.
Yep. It's crazy.
That's amazing. Crazy. I hope they nail down that tech, because that's revolutionary.
Yep.
Even at that state that they have, just the whole ArcCorp area. That's crazy.
So beautiful.
As for my favorite part of the overall just video presentation, I'm torn between overlooking all of ArcCorp, like seeing that LOD like pull away. Like you fly over the whole thing, and then they get up to the little orbital station, and you look back, and then it's like they show that it's not just an image. He's like jumps off and does all that, and the Pioneer gameplay, just the gameplay attached to it. Not even so much the ship itself. Ship's cool, but the gameplay potential attached to that is just blows my mind, and it's really awesome. They're gonna have it in there. I think those are my two little
that ensures
things.
that this game is going to at least have a 10-year lifespan, I believe.
Oh yeah, well the players
that just kind of certified it right there.
Yeah, and that's just the tip of the iceberg of what they're doing. So it's really, really, really cool.
Oh yeah, because they definitely have stuff on the schedule for after release. They just not doing it now. Too much drama and feature creep crap they're going to hear about, but they definitely have a road map after this game is launched.
And you're probably going to hear us talk more and more about the presentation still for the next few weeks as we see stuff, because there's so much to go over that it's just going to continue to go on. Drone's mic went way high all of a sudden.
Sorry.
It's all good. It just happened. It sounded like somebody started the vacuum on it.
God damn.
All right.
Why is it doing that?
I don't know. Buffer overflow. We have a few questions the audience is throwing up here, guys, and if you have a couple, you can throw them in there as well. It's !questions in chat. We're not going to do a ton of them tonight because we've gone a lot longer because we were later and we have a raffle to pull and all that. But we'll try to get some in here. So first question, firing them off by Latin Curro says, any new official news on how they will handle people that just want to have piracy and lawful gameplay on the same account while not having to have them adversely impact each other? How do I go about doing this currently?
Didn't they say that they are going to have an option if you have each? You can have one character per package, per game package. So if you want to have multiple, characters on your account, then you've got to have multiple packages. So you can go about that by, because for every $45 package you purchase, that's one character. And I think, what did they say is the maximum?
3 on an account, I think, is
3. Okay, so basically, you could spend what would that be, $125 or something like that, 135, and have three characters on that account. Each one could be something different. Now they cannot share ships.
No.
So there's that. You won't be able to share ships between those characters, and they won't be related to each other either. So.
Damn, you know what? I just thought about that. You can't. Damn, that's gonna be a problem.
Well, you could have 3 separate accounts. And
yeah, but I got 2 different packages on one account.
See, I don't.
You don't have to. So that's the thing, is you don't have to have that. You can take all of those. So you can only have. See, here's the thing: if you create 2 different characters, when you bring a ship into the game, you can no longer share that ship. The other character cannot have that. If you have 2 packages, you don't have to have 2 characters. It just gives you the option to do that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the option is like, as long as you haven't brought those ships into the game, they're available to each character. Like if you have 2 characters, whatever is there in your ship options, only not counting the one that's connected to that character, like so the Mustang or the whatever that came with the package, right? That one's with that character no matter what. But if you have other ships that are in there, if you want to draw that ship into your character's account, that will then be locked to that account.
Yeah,
hang on. What about if I land on a planet, switch account, go to where that ship is, take it?
Yeah, you could probably do that.
Okay, and if I do that, does it now count as a stolen ship for insurance?
It might. I don't know. They haven't worked out the
whole. So I can steal my own ships and reproduce.
Yeah.
I like where this is going.
I don't think it will actually. I think.
You got to remember, when you steal a ship, if you have a stolen ship, it's devalued.
Yeah, but if I've got one character that's lawful and one character that's unlawful, I don't give a shit how many ships the unlawful steals.
That's true, but the unlawful probably won't be able to remain in the same area as the lawful. You'll have to take the lawful guy over to bad space and steal the ship over there.
Oh yeah.
I
think they've talked about this before, and I think they won't allow it.
And because you can't have both characters on the same time, at some point the ship would just have to be there. And I don't know if you'd be able to log on the other account. By the time you log off that account, for that ship would disappear and go into space.
Well, but you could have somebody stand by the ship. Remember,
there's a third party. Then you didn't need the 2 accounts to do that anyway. You could just did it with your buddy.
Yeah, because I got one I'm wreaking havoc with, and one I'm going to be a goody boy. So
yeah, most people
I need to have my.
We're going to have sciencing this shit out of.
Oh yeah, we're going to break the game several ways.
Steal your own ship. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's going to be the only benefit of stealing a ship is going to be to use the ship or chop it up for parts. Yep. And even then, it's not going to have a monetary value, they said. So, like, let's say we wanted to resupply, like I needed extra parts for my ship in case it gets damaged. Then it makes sense to salvage them. And then you have extra conduits. I have extra backups of these things and stuff for my ship. They're not going to make sense to steal your own account stuff, because I think they're going to sit there and make it look like it's still your account. You know what I mean? Like you somehow have some relation to it, because salvage doesn't become salvage until it's been lost for so long, right? It's still maintained the character.
They may do it so that the ship, if you steal your own ship, it will have no value.
That's what I'm thinking. It'll be flagged that it's still possessed by so-and-so, and you won't be able to do much with it. But who knows?
This sounds like something that needs to be updated, just like Death of a Spaceman.
Well, Chris said that's 100% accurate and doesn't need updated, so I can't argue with the Lord and Savior. But
so you heard that from Christ Roberts himself. He told you that.
Yep.
So no updates.
He said that to somebody else. He said it at Gamescom. He told somebody else that I was standing 6 feet away from at CitizenCon. So.
Oh shit! Well, I guess Death of a Spaceman is what it is then.
It is what it is, but we'll see when they actually implement it. What happens?
Harsh as hell.
Yes. He said didn't need updated. That's what it is, and I'm like,
oh well.
If you say so, boss.
Gonna be interesting, Christ Roberts.
It will. All right. Next question is: what are your thoughts on the recent schedule report, more specifically the traversal section, talking about the handling of the tech for AI to intercept players traveling in quantum travel, and your thoughts on the gameplay that will be developed around? It kind of went off the screen. Around AI knocking players from quantum. This is from Alan.
What was the first part?
What are your thoughts on the recent schedule report in general? And then
I didn't look at that. I didn't look at that yet.
Yeah, it's up. More specifically, the traversal section talking about the handling of the tech for AI to intercept players in quantum travel.
Well, I haven't read through it completely, so all I can say is that I from what I know about what they've already said about the interception of targets or pulling people out of quantum, I'm interested in that mechanic. I'm interested in how they're going to implement it. So can't wait.
Yeah,
can't wait, man.
Must read, need read.
What happened to the quantum where they would show? I guess it was early concept that you were like flying through this tunnel with the.
No, that was a jump point.
Jump point. Okay, jump point.
Quantum now uses fairy dust to power. Didn't you watch the presentation? It has Tinkerbell's fairy dust whenever you come out of quantum.
It was like, it went all like the Super Saiyan.
I love it. It looks sexy as hell, but I'm like, wow, we have magic confirmed. SC.
Yeah, magic for sure.
It definitely looks like space magic to me.
Well, we're going to need some introduction ships to go with that. I know that. And that's what I'm looking for, some more of those.
Mm-hmm.
Warlock here.
Warlock, baby.
I think there's going to be something else besides the Warlock.
Okay, all it says in the traversal is like, this is what it says about quantum travel and pulling about. It says the developers handling the tech for AI to intercept players traveling in quantum travel are progressively nicely on this interface between missions and quantum. So it didn't really give specifics on that.
And does it say when it's supposed to be implemented, or just something that they're working on?
It's what they're working on right now. The mechanics for quantum and travel and atmospheric flight. I don't see a specific thing telling us detail about it, but I think it's something you're going to run into randomly. You know, you're going to have, sometimes you get pulled out, sometimes you don't. Depends on the length of the journey, risk of space, what kind of NPCs are operating in the area, and it will impact your gameplay, and it should. And I think
depends on players too. Sometimes players, they won't destroy your ship if you're in a hole or some hole B or C or something, and you got a couple cutlass on you. Hey, give us some of your stuff, give us some of your supplies, whatever, and we'll let you go free.
I'm where Uber Nerd is, where I want to see the mechanic and how it actually works before I will judge whether or not it's going to be too heavy-handed or not on pulling people out. Plus, we don't know the interval. I mean, it's something that if it happens a lot, they could always dial it back. If it pulls you out too infrequently, then they could always crank it up. So until we see more on the specifics of it, I don't really have an opinion for you, Alan, yet, unfortunately. But we'll see.
You heard how if you look at all the ships on the ship matrix too, also, you've seen how they've implemented much higher speeds for the crews, right?
Yes.
I'm very excited about that because what it did, and then some of the ships. You look at some of the bigger ships and their top cruise speed. You know, it's very exciting. But
it's what we thought it would, right? It should be more right? It takes longer to get there. It's what the mechanic that they always talked about now. Your bigger ships will move faster, but it takes longer to get up to those top.
There.
Yes.
Right.
And so that way it's a pursuit. You're trying to slow down or anchor or interdict that big ship, but if it gets too far, even if you're a small ship, you won't be able to catch it because it's just going to be able to move.
Here, this is the other thing that I thought would make an amazing mechanic for this that all plays into this whole interdiction, the idea and the mechanic of interdiction is I'd like it to be the 88 mile an hour threshold for jumping to quantum.
Will it leave like flaming tracks behind it?
Yeah, it's going to leave the flaming things and all that stuff. But on a more serious note, I'd like to see, you're in your caterpillar, you're saying we have got to reach 1,000 meters per second in order to get into quantum, right?
Yep.
In order to spool up the engine, we have got to be at that point. So we're trying to fight off these guys who are trying to stop us from getting to that point. Because if we get to 1,000 meters per second, all of a sudden, all right, hit that quantum drive, and you're like, spool it up, and all of a sudden you're gone, right? So it's this fight to get to that point where then you can enter quantum. I don't want quantum to be like, I'm at a dead standstill. Hit the quantum engine. Boom, I'm gone. No, I want to see you have to move to accelerate, and then you're like, okay, I'm at that 88 mile per hour.
And now I can actually quantum.
Ship. Yeah. Right? So that's kind of what I'd like to see, because what it does is it creates this kind of, the people who want your whatever is on your ship, they got to stop you, or once you get to that level, you're gone. And then that you want to stop them. You got your guys in your turrets, you got your people repairing things on the ship. And so you've got this fight, as they're accelerating slowly. And if they can get to that speed, they're boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, Arctic Games, I will agree on how ED does. That's one of the things that ED did well. I can't believe I'm saying that, but the interdiction, that there was a way that you could fight back with that system, not just your own just pulled over with that power of that player.
Yeah. Or a spool up timer would be interesting too. You're right, Rough Galaxy. I kind of like the speed or the momentum thing, but yes.
I don't want a spool up timer. I don't like that. I think that's
artificial.
I think that's bad gameplay. It's artificial. It doesn't depend on you. It depends on just this artificial time limit, right? I want to see it where you have to speed your ship up. You have to accelerate it. It's up to you, the players, to get to that point where you can then enter quantum.
So, Ubernerd, by your philosophy, how would you feel about it? I need to keep referencing Eve, but I kind of have to. In Eve, when you're trying to warp away, people can bump out of alignment. Can't warp. How would you feel about trying to get up to speed and bumping you to a slower?
Nah.
Slamming their ship.
I mean, because you're what are you going to bump me with? A ship that's equal in size?
Bigger.
If I'm already ahead of you.
Equal mass or larger.
Well, yeah, but
if you're trying to get away, but you're facing
that's pretty hard.
Rather than about
if I'm already at a certain point and you're trying to now catch up, you can't catch up to me because we accelerate at the same speed. Now,
and the challenge is under the mechanic in EVE Online. In EVE Online, there's no collision damage.
Yeah. In this, there's tons of collision.
Yeah, so I think that would be a problem because I believe there's going to be collision damage in this. So
yeah, but if you're willing to take the
if you're willing to take the hit, more than likely you're going to have irreparable damage beyond bumping them out of alignment. But I get what you're saying. I think if a physical body comes in line and you have to either deviate or if you are physically bumped or something.
If you have to turn, you slow.
Yeah, it will slow you down and it will change your momentum.
If you have to turn, if you have to deviate, it's a straight line kind of thing. Going into quantum should be a straight, pick your destination, point into that destination.
So what I'm thinking of, so to give you an example, so let's say you got two fleets engaged in combat and somebody decides they want to get away and I notice they're starting to speed up, but they're already facing me. And maybe that's the ship we really want to keep there. Maybe we have a guy that's willing to sacrifice so that we can get that. Maybe.
But remember, Death of a Spaceman is going to make it much less of a. Your people are not going to want to be doing that. You're going to be like, dang it! You're not going to want to put your ship in harm's way.
I think you're only going to want to sacrifice yourself for extreme.
That will,
yeah, and it's going to under extreme circumstances. People will.
Yeah, but they'll get their butts blown out, especially if the turrets are on the bigger ship, you're going to have,
maybe.
I mean, it's a chance you take. But here's the better thing.
Here's the
I've
thing.
just learned never to underestimate what people are willing to.
But here's the balancing thing. People talk about
Yeah.
both sides. People talk about the severity of if you died, that's it. But you also have to consider there's lots of instances where you're just going to instantly die. Maybe you weren't trying to do that, and you're just in a fighter in a dogfight, and the capital ship's there, and you instantly die. I mean, that could happen because you could have the other caveat of nobody wants to go anywhere near a capital because they're like, oh shit, if I even go near them and I die instantly, Death Spaceman so hardcore, I'm going to stay on a planet. I'm going to be safe. I'm going to stay over here. I'm not even going to fight anybody. So you don't want that either. You need a middle ground where people aren't needlessly
risking. If those
risking.
people are too much of wusses to get out there in space, they can work on planet side. They can work in areas that are safe spaces. There are people who are willing to, like Drones is saying, there are people, even with the severe death mechanic, who are going to say, balls to the walls, guys, let's go.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
there will always be those guys.
That's why I like the size of this universe. It's not like the only thing you can do is go out there and fight. There are so many other things that you can do that it doesn't, it's like, okay, yes, you're not going to be able to be a fighter pilot out there between two capital ships having a big old battle if you are risk averse. Yep. It's just not going to happen. I'm sorry, and we're not going to dumb down the game. So there and get your pew pew in. You want that? Play Squadron 42.
There you go.
Put it on easy mode.
All right. Vekler asks, he says, do you think the Pioneer on the ground factory mode will lose its protective shields? And could the shields be used to protect the modules if the ship stays in one location?
I would like the shields to be on.
I don't know. It won't lose its protective shields. I don't believe that, because I believe that with Item System 2.0 and iterative levels beyond that, we're going to be able to keep a power plant on and keep shields on and keep other parts of the ship running and turn your engines off. And you're going to be able to control how your ship is, right? Now, you may not have a very good...
I'd kind of like to see having full shields on the ship. Maybe you can't power up all of your manufacturing facility. Maybe you got to do things a little slower to have your full shield.
Yeah, maybe.
But if you're willing to sacrifice it, feel safe, you drop your shields, you get a little faster production.
Yep.
I'd love to see something like that.
That would be cool.
Maybe you could build a ground-based shield generator and make that be the first thing that you build, and then after that, you can lower your shield. And,
although they said all add-ons and turrets and all those external things are something you have to buy an add-on, so you might have to build like your first module, and then you could add those things to it.
Yeah, you're building like platform turret. You're not building the turret.
Yeah.
Are they selling those add-ons for actual real money? That's the question.
No, it's in-game.
Not yet.
No.
It's all in-game stuff. But you could buy
shield generators for your base.
Yeah, you could buy all sorts of stuff like that. But you could buy the cards for real money and then buy them in game if you want to do that, right?
Yeah,
do it that way. P.S. on the second part of that question is who bought a Pioneer and why? I think we already went over that though, kind of. I melted a bunch of shit and did it. So
I did
Rowan
not.
Is the only peasant in here. Peasant.
Listen, you call me peasant, but I'm the guy that's going to pay you to build my base. So
not peasant.
Yep.
Rich peasant.
There you go.
There we go.
All right, and then Bob asks, he says, how long do you think it'll take the bulk of players to disperse from Earth?
Hey, Bob. Well, so the way it is here, Bob, is that we're not going to be located. It's going to be all kinds of places all around the universe here. And me and my wife over here, Edith, we're going to be on this planet, you see, and we're going to be right next to all these losers and communists.
At least you didn't go racy with Archie Bunker. Yeah, I was like, at least you didn't go the racist route with him. I mean, that was good.
I think it's going to depend on things. I think most people are going to want to leave whatever starting area pretty much as fast as they can.
I don't know.
I think it depends on the area.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get our. But
I mean, we are going to get Earth, but not as a starting area at the release of the game. I think Terra Prime will be a place.
Yeah.
ArcCorp will be a place.
I keep saying that, and the only thing that I think would keep you maybe locked into a particular starting area, wherever that may be, is if they do the one thing I really wish they would do: cheaper package, no ship, for those who want to be just support.
Yep.
Because there are people that want to do that.
Well, I agree with that.
Quick side question from Cub the Man, even though he didn't ask it inside the doc, I'll ask it to you guys since it is relevant. It says, do you guys feel like Star Citizen should focus on releasing some new starter ships rather than going with the expensive ships that they aim in the high hundreds? So do you think they should make more starter ships?
I hope that they do this next year.
Well, like I just said, I want to see a no ship package and maybe just ground vehicle package, where you're starting off and you got to make your way on a planet. You got to get by until you can get a ship or get hired.
Yeah. But I don't think that, here's the thing, Drones. Right now, I don't think ship package would make sense. Even next year when we have planets to be on, there are no places to put, at least not until ArcCorp comes. Maybe when ArcCorp comes out, maybe they could sell apartment packages, and at that point, I think that would be awesome. I think I know about 5 or 6 people who have no interest in ever flying spaceships, but they want to be in a futuristic sci-fi game.
Yeah,
I don't really want to be a pilot of any ship. I really don't. I will do it because it's going to be a necessity for some of the stuff I want to do, but that's not a primary focus for me.
I'll be a captain, not a pilot.
I don't necessarily need to be a captain. My Javelin, I will let other people captain it, pilot it, man the guns. I want to be in med bay. Screw that. That's something I want to do.
Yep.
I mean, with the starships, they could probably add maybe 2 more. I wouldn't sit there and push a whole bunch out. I think they shouldn't spend that many resources on starter ships, a ship that people may not be in for over a month. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They play it a lot. So putting the focus on some of these other ships like a Pioneer, which easily in the first day, they sold 2,000? What was it, like a mil? Yeah. 1.5 or something?
Yep. 1.5 million in the first day.
Another 1,000. They're down to 270 left, of those. That's almost a mill right there.
I'll also refer to a couple things. Well, I think it'd be cool to have some more variations of ships, like for starters in the game, just for appearance and all that. The problem I have with doing a lot of more starter ships is, from what Ben said, you could literally be in a different ship within the game within almost 8 hours of playing. You'll be able to run enough missions if you're going hardcore at it and stuff to where you could get your next level ship within 8 hours. How important is the starter ship really at that point then?
I have a different problem with adding more starter ships. My biggest problem with the idea of adding, and I'm not against it from a lore perspective. I could see maybe every manufacturer has an entry-level beginner ship. But the problem I have is right now there are 2, kind of 3, but really 2 choices for the base cheap starter pack. And the most commonly asked question we get as streamers, new people coming into the game, which one should I buy? That's with just 2. And that's a tough question to answer. Sure, you got the $5 bonus with the Mustang, but it's buggy. Then you got the Aurora, which doesn't have that. So it's
right. And my argument is it doesn't fucking matter because you'll be out of it. You'll be out of the thing if you're playing the game within, even if you played only a couple hours a day, within your first 2 or 3 game sessions, more than likely you're going to be onto another ship.
Well, I always...
and I'm just talking beginners who aren't going to really listen to that, because as well as I do, a lot of them will push, and they will come in and they will say, listen, going to buy a starter ship, which one's better?
Yep.
And you can beat that horse to death and still question.
Well, isn't the Reliant kind of in that category of starter ship too?
The Avenger,
it's a little bit more expensive, so I put it in the Avenger class of starters.
The next tier up.
Yeah. So I consider that second. But like for
even
first
though the
tier,
Reliant has
for the
very
people who
little
don't
more
want to spend
usage
money.
than what the Avenger, than the other starters, right? Doesn't really hold a significant amount of cargo. Doesn't really, there's a lot of things that the Reliant just doesn't do. It's more of an aesthetic ship because it pivots and has two players can sit in it. But it's just not. It's a B-wing. It looks cool, but if I was going to go in that category, I'd probably get an Avenger over that because it's more utility for what.
That's what I did.
Yeah,
I seen the utility on the Avenger. I'm like, you know what? I'll spend that extra $15 or however much it was. I'm like,
go.
yeah, that's it right there. Yep.
All right. So how do you feel about the ship matrix changes, specifically the Freelancer Dur losing 54% of its cargo space versus the 25% we were told? Apparently, Vekler, you must own a Dur. And having size 3 guns versus the size 5. I thought it would be ridiculous to have size 5 guns anyway on a Freelancer for the most part. I understand, but they're a little over the top. Also, do you think we'll still be able to fit a Dragonfly or a Nox in it with the reduced size? The Dur's primary element isn't cargo, though, if I remember correctly, right? Isn't that the exploration version of the Freelancer?
Yeah, the Max is the cargo.
Yeah. So this one, it has cargo because of the style of it, but it uses most of its space for exploration. So I think that was kind of the path they were going with that. As for the cargo size and variance, meh, it sucks. If that was your favorite ship, then sorry. And size 5 guns still seem ridiculous to me on any of the Freelancers, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm in the mindset that right now, sizes of guns and exact amount of cargo space, nothing's been balanced. So we don't know what those numbers are going to mean in the end. Like, we have ideas, we have organization, but definitive, how bad is a size 5 in release? Not in current, not in, upcoming, but in the end.
Yeah.
Well, what fucked me up the most with the ship matrix was the battlefield upgrade kits.
Yeah.
And I was wondering why we didn't see it on any other ships. I'm like, wow, we haven't seen these in a while. They haven't been resold in a while. And come to find out, they're not selling no more. So basically, back to variants, spending, more money. And basically, the battlefield upgrade kits you have now are pretty much useless from what it's sounding like on here.
Yeah.
I was hoping for a 600i module. It just seemed like when they sold that, they said, oh, yeah, in game, you'll be able to buy a module. And now it's sounding like you can't buy a module for that 600i. So I don't know if they just made that decision or I don't know.
All right. Next 3 questions we're going to fire up real quicker from Spaceship Training Whales. He said, did you hear any rumors or did any devs mention anything about stuff they wanted to show at CitizenCon, but they couldn't get ready in time? I'm not going to out those devs. I can't talk about specifically what they would be because then it would out those devs. So I won't mention that.
Yeah, that's what happened to me last year. That's why if you get a chance, go.
Well, I know I heard about you last year about you running your mouth about stuff that they're all like, "Oh, I can't believe Gio said that. He drank too much." So
hey, they heard about me, but I didn't say no names.
I know, but they know based on what you said. That's why I So anyway,
so the rule of thumb is just either don't drink that much or drink so much that you're completely
rule of thumb is love your devs and love your friends and love your family of Starsys and don't get them in trouble when they don't need to be, even if they
I would never out a dev, but I'm up and stuff.
Well, I'm glad. See, all that was NDA. That's why I muted all that for him. It muted all that end statement for him automatically. NDA. What's your new guess for the number of weeks till first wave PTU? I was hopeful by CitizenCon, but that's obviously not it.
No one's CIG.
Holiday live stream.
Yep. They're going to do it in CIG fashion, how they stream the big boom at the end of the year. Oh, yeah, here goes the PTU, and it's going to be a fucked up ass mess. That's what's probably going to happen.
Yep.
Just like when 2.0 came out, it did the heroic last-minute live stream before holidays, and that went
and they gave it to everybody, too.
And the final question... The final question is, do you think CIG runs the risk of alienate a much larger mainstream casual audience if they don't hear the feedback from Joe Gamer, who might have zero patience for 10-minute quantum travel times, even does this even matter, or would you accept big compromise of game mechanics if it meant player base of 10 million versus 1 million? Let's just make this really clear. Star Citizen is not for the everyday casual gamer. As much as Chris Roberts wants this to be WoW online, it'll never be that way and maintain any type of hardcoreism. And if you go the other way, like what they tried to do with Star Wars Galaxies and make it more common and open to everybody, you'll just kill your core audience. So it's a delicate balance there. You can't soften it so much like Uber Nerd was saying earlier to accommodate everybody, but you also have to make it open enough to where people want to try it.
There should be enough different opportunities in this game that you won't ever have to go these long travel times if you don't want to. The planets are giant, freaking enormous. And they're going to get people working on particular planets. Earth is going to be one of those. Terra is going to be one of those.
8 minutes isn't that long. I'll just say this, 8 minutes ain't that long, and the only reason it seems long is because the guy's standing there when Glenn's just spinning his camera around the spaceship. But normally Glenn would be in that 8 minute quantum, and he would get out of his seat, go down, do some stuff in his ship, maybe have to repair something, maybe have to plot under a course, or do something that. You know, I know, but I'm just saying, in most things, it would be an example of something else.
If you think that 8 minutes is long, that was 23 million kilometers. That was 1/6 of the distance from the sun to the Earth.
Well,
you got to plan
8 minutes is long, and EVE Online traveling across one star system is only 2 minutes. But we'd sit on gate camps for 72 hours doing nothing except shooting random shit that comes through it. So there's long, and then there's long. So
plan ahead of your trips too. Like when I used to be on Arcade, I would have certain things I know that'd be done at a certain time. I need to know how much time it's going to have me run from this end of the map to the other. Okay, that's going to be about 45 minutes. So I would plan ahead of time. If I don't have that time, I'm not making that trade run at that moment, period. I'll just go do something else I could do real quick to fill in.
Right, exactly.
And that's not counting getting interdicted by people or pirates or something else too, and all that.
Look at the
that too.
Look at the truck stops that they were talking about, where the hull C, D, and E would come drop off cargo. So you've got yourself a freelancer, right? You're up at a truck stop. You get a job you're going to take cargo down to Area 24 on ArcCorp, right? That will not take you, doing that entire job take you about 20 minutes total, right? Going up, loading cargo, going back down, unloading it, getting paid. Hey, that's less than 30 minutes right there, right? So, but if you want to go a real long distance, so if you were jumping, let's just say 1 AU, that will be 52 minutes. That'll be a 52-minute jump to jump 1 AU. Yep.
We'll see how it works. We'll see what they decide to do with everything.
I think that's an awesome mechanic because the universe is so big and it's such detailed around these planets. It's not jumping from ArcCorp to one of its 2 moons is going to be lots of gameplay around. You may live 3 months of your life just working around ArcCorp before you take that long trip and go to a jump point. The jump points are relatively quick, but getting to the jump point could take an hour or 2, depending on how far around think of the jump points don't really move. And what if ArcCorp orbits around the sun, and when you decide to leave, oh, wait, you're way far away from the jump point. Now it takes you, hour and a half just to get to the jump point. Or if you could, it's all about planning, like Gio said.
Plan accordingly.
Plan accordingly. That's right.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that was our final question. I don't think anybody mentioned about the thing we were wondering if they were going to mention about Uber Nerd.
No, I hadn't heard of these.
But also because he didn't change his thing.
That's why
on my channel. You got to change that in settings on every channel on your
per channel.
Yeah. So
I don't know.
Oh well.
So
that's my bad.
Epic fail.
It's epic fail.
Yeah.
Uber fail.
Yes. Well, that's me.
Uber fail. But anyway, so can I tell people anyway?
Sure.
All right. So for those of you who didn't know and didn't check it out, and all that stuff. And thank you so much. I believe Smash came in here too with that awesome 145 viewer Hostorama. So make sure you guys get some follows over to Smashly. I didn't get to say it because Uber was on his super tangent, but I wanted to announce that Uber Nerd, as of tonight, has been announced that he has been partnered by Twitch. So congratulations to Uber Nerd for all his hard work over the last 2 to 3 weeks. Make sure you guys get some love and chat for him. Get some SpaceBros, some bacon, all that stuff. You know, make sure you're doing all those things. So not only follow Smashly in there, congratulations to Uber Nerd for all his hard work. Doing his thing, man. It's really awesome that he's gotten partnered. So
drones next, then me.
Good job, buddy.
Why not the other way around?
Because Gio, you stream a lot more than
flip
me.
That, Gio.
Yeah. Yeah. Gio's got to start streaming to do that. So
we'll see.
Absolutely. So, yeah, look at all those congratulations. Well-deserved, my friend. You did a good job. You worked hard. There you go. Getting the Chewie out.
Yeah, that's because they know to let the Wookiee win.
That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So, again, if you aren't following all these members of the team, you need to qualify for this giveaway. It's a $10 Star Citizen gift card we're giving away tonight. Make sure with the SBGs that Thrace is fitting in there, you're following each and every channel. So you're following Uber Nerd, Dr. Drones, and Geo Get Money. We're going to draw this $10 giveaway. Then we also have to draw the $100 SpaceBro Gaming giveaway for last month, which we just wrapped up. And then we will be announcing tomorrow evening, we will have the new SpaceBro Gaming giveaway for November. And then you guys are still working on the countdown to my birthday, which is 8 days away, as I creep deeper into the pit of old man-ism.
You're going to be 21. Shh.
There's a 1 involved, but I don't think it's a 2 in front of it. So, but believe and it will happen. Believe and it will happen.
I just celebrated my 30th, my 20th, 30th birthday.
Your 20th, 30th birthday? So it works out. It works out perfectly. Math and things.
I just keep celebrating the 30th birthday over and over and over again. It's like Groundhog Day, only with booze.
Good times.
Sounds legit to me.
Yep.
Sounds legit. All right, so let's do this thing. We're going to pull this keyword raffle real quick, guys. So if you haven't gotten in there already, I'm sorry. You just missed out.
Too late now.
70 viewers have entered. We're going to go ahead and just draw a quick winner here. We're not going to do any sort of super claim word and all that stuff.
No.
Not going to happen. Yeah. We're just going to
Super claim word.
Super claim word. And it looks like the amazing super duper Schneiderman. The amazing Schneiderman is the one going to win. So make sure you guys, is he following all you? I think he is. He's been a long-time supporter.
I think so.
Had a 1% chance, man. Damn.
Yeah. He was already hosed.
Yeah, I've seen his name before.
Okay.
It sounds really
familiar. I'm not even going to check.
He's been following me since the 15th of July.
All right. Check that out. And then we're going to quickly announce the winner of the $100 beautiful, sexy gift card out of a total of 445 potential users. No invalid entries either. That's pretty good. Usually we got at least a couple in there. And
Thrace.
Let's see. So this gentleman's name, in-game name, I believe, is Joe's Got More. And he won off, since it doesn't stack how many entries he had, he won off following Uber Nerd for the SpaceBro Gaming one. So you can tell which ticket was pulled out of the pot to that. So that entry by him following you was the one that got him this beautiful $100 Star Citizen gift card. So we will
nice. Yeah, he's one of my supporters on YouTube as well. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
He's been following me. He's been following me since the 21st of August.
Awesome. Opossum.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll get his information. I will shoot him an email. And congratulations to Joe's Got More for that awesome win. And with that, I think we're going to call it a wrap for tonight. Even though
All right.
gave this amazing host for us this evening. I really appreciate that.
Smashley, you rock.
She does rock. She rocks everybody's socks. Let's see here. And I think we're going to go take this beautiful, sexy raid, and I think we're going to pass it over to one of my favorite strummers that's currently on right now, and that's Burke Black. But you guys are actually going to have to raid him. That means you're going to spam some emotes and stuff, because otherwise...
Mash the moats.
You just get kicked off the ship real quick.
Takes off the ship.
You will, because we want to steal the booty.
Steal that booty.
Yep, absolutely. So we're going to go over. I'm going to give you some spam in chat for this, and we're going to say goodnight to you guys. So make sure you got all your emotes. If you don't have SpaceBro or Bacon or any of that stuff, make sure you use your Twitch bombs and just represent. And we're going to go over here the wonderful, amazing Burke Black.
That's it.
And we're doing it the old school way with the host, because that's how we do.
Excellent.
I gotta pass lurkers too. That's just the way I work.
Ooh.
And I will see you guys later.
Booty? Oh, he's playing Call of Booty.
He's playing Call of Booty. Let's do
No,
it.
Burke.
Yes.
Oh,
It's all
don't play
good.
that.
Say goodnight, Gio. Good night, everybody. Good night, Gio. Peace out, guys. Have a great evening.